next time someone dies.
We are.
Aren't you glad you didn't start it before the big storm today?
I have a battery backup for them all now, so now storms can kiss my ass.
But you guys got hit hard down here?
It was like 10 seconds of monsoon rain, just enough to wash all my prints off their board and down underneath the deck, and then
it happened. It happened as I got back to my house and was about to. Literally, I got out and I'm like, oh, it's just sprinkling a little bit. I'm just gonna move a couple of things from like the back seat of the truck into the back of the truck, and all of a sudden it's pouring in 30 seconds, and I'm dripping wet. Yeah, good times.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I just so pleased and excited. I should grab.
What town did we leave?
I'm
Those?
glad you asked that. Fjellensby. Because I went, I did not write it down last week.
No. Not the one that are you talking about the one that we went to before we went on this adventure?
Yeah, like the little.
Oh no, I was going to ask which one is the one we left those bandits in. Varby. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
At some point, I still want to get around
I'm a Varby girl.
to printing off. At some point, I still want to get around to actually doing up a map of the land.
Jeez.
But
Somebody's got the vid. We're all dead.
Well, technically, you could look at how life works. We all do. So we're just dead and waiting.
right.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I feel this took a dark turn.
It did. It did take a very dark turn.
You gotta look on the bright side. You can save a lot on 40 years of groceries.
Oh man. Oh. So last week, yes, I want to do a bit of that as well. So let me make sure I get that open. So last week I kind of rushed you guys through a little bit because nothing against Harold or his controller, but I kind of wanted to get Harold's moment
that's
over
fine.
with. So we kind of rushed through a couple things. So we're gonna retcon in a few things. We'll do a quick synopsis of last week though. You guys had after dealing with the rust monster, you had finally made your way to the hidden mountain glade of the Borva, who turned out to be this giantess type woman who prefers Gamma Viscone. And she had answered many questions, and between her and others that were sort of in her entourage there visiting or whatever, you guys were able to learn a number of things about yourselves. So Brego, you were able to learn a lot more lore from Gamel herself.
I learned how to.
Hogak, you were able to learn some druidic magic from. I don't have his name here right now. Farvander, and there we go. I got so much stuff going on here now.
Can we retcon in that pixie's name as Nesca?
What was it? Nessa?
Nisa, N-I-S-A? Is
Yeah,
how
can
I
we
wrote
change
it
it to
down.
Nesca? Because Nescafe would be cooler.
Nescafe.
Nescafe, the coffee pixie?
Yes, we can. I didn't actually write it down anyway, but yes.
The coffee pixie. And she's hyper.
Mm-hmm.
She's a pixie, of course. She's hyper. It's better. Yes, and you had learned from Thuskrind basically the secret of giant runes and how to begin utilizing them, not just for combat, but basically to enhance items that you wear on you.
Did anyone actually confirm that my grandfather was dead?
No one has. So I'm actually going to get back to your grandfather in just a second.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a wrap up from last week, and then I'm gonna bring in some other stuff that you guys would have picked up while you were there. We'll just kind of back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys had learned a bunch of things. You had learned a few things about your grandfather. Not an awful lot about the sword other than the fact that you had the rune identified as a giant fire rune.
Yeah.
And you had discovered that basically there was a cult of some sort that was responsible for the wolf attacks that was trying to recreate Fenris on Midgard, or to create a new Fenris, I suppose is more appropriate, and that they were located to the north over the icy snow-capped mountains that kind of form like the northern border of the sort of the geopolitical region that you guys are in. Like, they're big mountains, they're icy all the time, they kind of form a natural boundary. You guys have gone... That's squeaky.
Yeah.
That kid needs oil. You had set off, you had stopped the small village of Fjellensby for basically a night, provisioned yourselves, bought some winter gear and stuff like that, headed up, and basically, well, Brego is not enjoying himself at all. He's been told to basically shut up and keep quiet because there's potentially big dangerous things up here. And so he's got.
Quit your whining. Quit your humming.
Right.
Quit your whistling.
Can't whistle. Can't sing. You've got no reason to be happy otherwise. It's cold. There's no promise of a nice tap room to sleep in tonight.
Pretty confident we're sleeping in the wild.
Right. You guys had passed one night up in the mountains without any real. There was some howling on the wind that may or may not have been anything other than the wind. And then the next day, you guys had encountered a behir, affectionately referred to here as Harald's End.
I thought it was Joy Bay here.
Yes, Joy Behir. Yes. I think it's probably that terrifying, but probably not that stupid.
Yeah. Probably not even close.
No. So anyway, Harald had basically gone forward to distract us, knowing that it would be able to catch up basically to the entire group and potentially murder all of you or kill all of you. I don't know. Can you have cross-species murder?
No.
No.
That's just killing.
They're just gonna kill
him. Murdering has intent.
Yeah, it's just one
rather than just eating
it. Yeah. So he had gone forth, and you guys had kind of gotten a safe distance away and seen enough of the details to kind of watch him valiantly fight this thing to the bitter end. Heard the trumpets, saw the Valkyries come, knowing that Harald had finally found not only a degree of peace, but he had his moment and he had made it.
Heroic end.
Yes. So that is by way of
which we can't monetize.
No, we can't monetize that. Yes. Let's get let's get this out of the way while we're streaming. So YouTube has dinged me that I cannot monetize the last two videos. One last week because of the use of Bonnie Tyler's "Waiting for a Hero," and the previous week I don't remember the name of the song. It was some Flock of Seagulls song. Is all I remember. It wasn't one I'm particularly acquainted with. I looked it up.
Am I with all Flock of Seagull songs? Not particularly acquainted with. Yes.
Yeah. Personally, I think we're doing some of these artists a service. Where we're bringing attention to some. In some cases, Bonnie Tyler, that is a great song. Right? that thing is like 7 times platinum or something like that.
How could it not be?
Wow.
Right.
Just gotta make sure she keeps getting her monetization.
That's right. Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
it's hard for struggling artists.
Of the 4 people who listen to this campaign on a regular basis, how many of them went to Spotify or Apple Music and bought "Holding Out for a Hero" because they heard it here? Free advertising.
It's you guys just don't understand. It's difficult for some artists to pay for their 4th house, and yachts don't fuel themselves, right? So,
right. Bonnie Tyler still performing apparently. At least a couple of years ago. So, yeah. So anyway, other things aside, we will press forward with our regularly scheduled campaign at this point. So yes, you had additional history. I'm not going to get into some of. Obviously, she's not going to give you all of the details about everybody's name and everything that's involved. But what Gamel will tell you about your grandfather Niall is that he had been. You should see how much backstory I've written for Niall. He had been a regional hero for a while. You would have already known that your family's origins prior to your grandfather starting the shipbuilding or the boat building business. His father was a fisherman. He wasn't really rich or poor for a fisherman. He was kind of a fisherman. And lived some. You know that your family migrated at some point. Your grandfather migrated to the area around the fjords, where you have been born and grown up. So what she has told you is that when he was young, being basically the youngest or second youngest, being one of the younger sons, he was a little bit irresponsible in the eyes of his parents, and rather than stay at home and kind of attend to his duties, he took an opportunity to go raiding instead, and came back, and there was kind of a rift that developed between his father and him at that point, but he came back after a successful raid and basically kind of like shirked any duties, kind of started setting himself up, making plans, gathering others to go raiding next year, because, I mean, if you can make more money in a month of raiding than you can in a year of hard labor, then why not, right?
I've considered it so many times, trust me.
And that's where bank robbers
Richard
come
sits
from.
in the front window and just looks at the shit his neighbors have all the time. It's not even that far of a trip.
Yeah, I can raid the shit out of so many places.
Right.
Just gotta get across the road before you see it. You just stop free, man.
So basically, he went raiding for a couple of seasons, and then for reasons that she doesn't go into, he gave up raiding and took the money that he had made, and he had tried to settle down for a while, and then sort of got called back to go to war, basically to go to battle against some of the people that had been raiding against you, and at some point, so he'd settled down. He kind of has a family, sort of establishes the boat building business, and basically when your father was young, is when he gets sort of called upon to go off and there's sort of a muster, the guy that was in charge at the time, kind of coerced him into to taking a boat, a long ship, with men, and basically going to war, invading the guys that were trying to invade you. And he came back. He was successful, but as he came back, something happened on the trip back. When he left, he didn't have the sword when he left, but he had the sword when he came back. He knew things when he came back that he didn't know when he left. And he didn't seem, despite the fact that at times he had been pretty severely wounded, he never really seemed to show any signs of this. And you would remember your grandfather as being a fairly strong, robust man.
Yep.
But then when you were young, he suddenly disappeared. And she tells you that he basically was summoned by someone, and that when he received that summons, he suddenly was no longer the man that you had known as your grandfather. There's some kind of a force, some kind of a power that kind of had a hold over him. And since then, and this is more leaning towards some of the things that Brego has heard, he has done things that amongst your people would not be considered honorable, like not raiding somebody far away, but raiding neighboring villages or raiding basically your own people, literally like going across the road to steal from your neighbor. There are dark things that he has done in there. She doesn't probably go into all of the details, but she does tell you that he is still alive, and it is significant that he left this sword behind. She doesn't know exactly why that is, but she tells you there must be a reason, because this is a good sword. You also learn about the sword that it was not made locally. It's basically it's in a style that would be used frequently, like the overall dimensioning and things like that would be frequently used, but it looks as though the work was done. Farvander will tell you it looks as though it came more from his land far off to the west, and that probably has some significance to it as well.
Okay.
That you can do with as you want. She tells you.
It's like,
I don't know,
is it
are there
like-
any questions you would have for her?
So it's not that it just came from somewhere else, but it was probably made by an entirely different race.
It's probably made by a different people group anyway. Yeah, not necessarily a different race, but like a different culture, different society.
okay.
Like it's not that it was necessarily made by dwarves or elves, but it'd be like, it wasn't made by the French, it was made by the English, or it wasn't made by the English, it was made by Arabians or by Persians or something like that.
Yeah.
It's come from
A different.
Different culture. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Not so radically different that the form isn't the same, but the styling,
Like the pommeling design.
Yeah,
and
the-
stuff
the-
like that.
It's not a scimitar.
the knotwork and things like that that are on it are somewhat different from what you would find more locally.
It's just a movie prop sword. That's what he was trying to say. Yeah. It's,
Yeah. There's a little button.
Has
you
a
can
glowing
push
rune.
on.
It's the first LED.
You push a little button on the hilt and it makes the blade glow.
Yeah.
But that's all it does. It's not really a fire ring at all. It's just a little LED.
Does it make the sound effect too?
oh yeah. It's cool, guys. I don't care if it was made in China.
Just said I'm having copyright issues. You gotta make the lightsaber noise.
We didn't
Whoa, we
specify.
didn't say
It could have been a
that.
beam saber. It could have been a beam
Oh.
saber.
Everybody knew.
And that's on them for assuming.
I've never even seen those movies.
Yeah.
Get out.
Don't even
How
know.
proud are your eyes?
We need to stop streaming for a minute.
So do you have any
Cut the
questions
stream.
that you would ask her with regards to any of this, or?
What was his last known location?
Oh goodness. She tells you that not long ago he was in the area of Rensford.
Rensford?
Rensfjord. That's the big fjord where Varby and Smabia live in. That's kind of the massive fjord that comes in from the ocean and kind of splits the land. So he's been somewhere in the general region that you guys are in, not too far in the past.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty. It's a lot more than I already knew. So I don't really have any questions I can think of on the top of my head.
Okay.
Has he been going by a different name?
She tells you that he has been going by. That he is not presently known by any name.
The Ebony Knight,
Yes.
level 70. I know. I played Skyrim. Yeah.
I have not. So
Yeah.
any similarities to my storyline with any Skyrim is completely incidental.
Okay. I mean, if he's not going by any name, then that's his last known location. Is he traveling? Does he travel alone?
She tells you that sometimes he travels alone, sometimes he leads others.
Okay.
He does basically as he is bidden. So if he's told
So
to,
he's serving someone else. It's pretty
he's-
clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think that's everything.
She will go so far as to tell you that he is enthralled to a powerful woman from the west.
Oh gosh, oh, not a woman.
And
This can't be right. My grandfather will never serve a woman. Not in the Blackmane family. No. All right,
I mean,
that's
there's
interesting.
upsides to it sometimes. It fails, doesn't it?
Depends. Yeah, it depends on how much money she has. I
Starts to
suppose.
make sense now when he's doing all this dishonorable shit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, okay. I
Let's
think
just skirt around those
Yeah.
sexist jokes there.
yeah,
I was already distracted. So.
Yeah.
I think that that is all that I have to ask.
I mean, realistically, you're there for like 3 days. So if at
Yeah.
some point in the near future you think of something else in there, then
How sturdy is this woman that he's following?
well, are you sharing this information with them so that
No.
you could ask us?
No,
Is this a secret?
okay, just in case there's bad stuff about the family, I don't want anyone else to know.
Yeah.
Well, I already assumed the worst, really.
I was going to say, you might want to share something with him, or at least bring him over so that she can confirm. I don't know if you guys have like a gentleman's bet or something riding on this. Or you
No,
want...
I think at this point, like I know you've heard rumors.
I don't think I
that's-
came right out and told them bad stuff, though. I kind of kept it away from my
You were
thing.
kind of like, I've kind of heard some shady
Yeah.
stuff, but you weren't like.
Yeah.
It was the wrong time to get into it. Yeah.
We had just met.
you
Oh,
didn't-
yeah.
you
didn't
I know your
figure out.
grandfather.
You
We
didn't,
asked.
you didn't really come right out and say like, oh yeah, I heard he murdered his babies, and
Yeah.
I might bring it
So-
up with the group at a later
That's not
time,
evil.
but I think
now.
for now probably it would just
Private
be with me.
conversation.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Since we're back there for a moment anyway, is there anything else you guys want to do in interacting with anyone else in that glade before you leave?
I think I'm.
Mostly in terms of like lore stuff, because you can't suddenly be like, oh hey, do you have anything to help me keep warm or survive a Behir attack?
Yeah. Do you have anything that's resistant to bay here?
I already got the info about my mom still being alive, which was a shock to me.
Yes.
Big old family reunion going on
You
here.
also found out, or at least was hinted at, that your loot is a little bit more than just a regular loot. You've always noticed that it was kind of a bit of an unusual instrument in the area, but you've never really thought much of it. But you've basically been told that you might want to maybe pay some attention to the loot once in a while. There might be more. It's kind of more than just a regular instrument, maybe.
Okay.
Transformer. It's more than meets the
On
eye.
that subject,
Optimus all the way.
some time ago, I want to say two or three sessions ago, maybe more. This was only session 7, so it wasn't that long ago. But somebody at one point looted a cube. Was it one of you two guys? I asked him because I thought it was him, and he said no.
A cube.
Yeah.
I think it was like an obsidian cube
I don't
or
think
a
I've kept
cube.
anything of interest at all. I think
I don't have anything written down about a cube. Nope.
Okay.
Was it maybe Harald?
No, I don't think I gave him anything because kind of knew he was leaving the group.
I have-
So like,
Yeah.
he might have started with some interesting
I have
things.
60 pounds of iron garbage.
What? What?
That
Was
we
there
had for the
anything
rust
about?
monsters.
You said it was an obsidian
I
cube.
think.
I briefly remember something out of this obsidian,
Yeah.
but I don't remember
so
who
I
took it.
thought it was when Hogak kind of picked the pocket of the
Yeah, that's
the widow.
It
woman
sounds
there.
familiar.
Yeah.
We can just say he has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was just going to do.
I mean, if anyone has it, it's
Because I
probably
was
him.
thinking.
I
about
doubt he
think
shared
didn't-
it if he took it.
Yeah, I was remembering when I picked her purse.
How much is
there,
it worth? Yeah,
I
yeah, I
found some
remember getting that.
gems and everything,
There was some
and
gems, and I thought it was in there.
you may have mentioned there, but I just put everything into the bag,
Yeah. Okay.
so I didn't know it was going to have any
We were
value.
gonna,
So it's just
use
me
the rust
yeah,
monster.
not taking
so,
good
so
notes.
add in a 1-inch
By hand.
obsidian cube.
I can measure that perfectly.
Yeah, but this is like hard 1 inch. Obsidian.
Oh no, I have to. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have the iron garbage to feed our rust monster. It's rations.
Right. So you're literally hauling around like a scrap pile behind you.
Wow.
Well, no, Arda is.
He's laughing.
75 pounds on a 35-pound
Right.
halfling, yeah.
He's not a slave, though.
Yeah, no.
No. Oh, he's riding the rust
You are the
monster with a little
freest
stick of
guy
rope.
I've ever met, as he's carrying just scrap metal up a mountain.
Right.
No, he's on top of the rust monster
I'm
with a
so
little stick of
glad.
rope.
I'm so
leading
glad
him.
you're free now. Here, hold my drink.
Yeah. Do what
No,
I say.
like this
Have
on a
you-
platter.
Have you ever felt freer?
Right. I sense straighten your posture. All right.
And don't look at me.
So back to the present then. You guys have basically very recently, like you are moments after watching Harold die. You are, I'm presuming, probably like 100 yards, couple hundred yards away from this bay here that is now probably making sure that Harold's form is not resisting anymore, and then probably dragging it off to some cave or something like that.
It's super debatable whether or not, like, I feel like not 100% not out of greed, but just sort of the fact that, like, I feel like my character would not want to leave, like, what you would basically consider
A crew of weapons.
an amazing weapon just stuck in the
Give
hill.
me a perception check.
I think that's 16, but let me double check. Yeah, 16.
So as you see Harold's limp form kind of hanging from the the forelegs of this thing being dragged away. Wonderful it is. Sorry, that's not something to say with no video. People are going to come to assumptions, but
That's how you really get
Is
demonetized.
there a bit here? Right. That's how we get on a very different kind of video subscription
We're like-
service.
Getting the
I've already got a
fuck
subscription
outta
started for that one.
That's why we're friends, because you're just ahead of the
I tell you,
ahead of the game.
I haven't led the group often, but I
Yeah.
would be right now.
From the front.
Right.
I always lead from the front when we're running away.
Yeah.
There. Where did Harold go? Oh, whatever.
Did you guys name your rust monster yet? I don't think so. Eh?
Oh, Harold, this will work. So, as you see the sort of broken form being carried away, you see his great axe kind of dragging behind him. Looks as though like it's on like a plated leather thong attached to his wrist.
Never a fan of thongs personally, but all right.
Time and a place.
So, I guess if it's dragging with him and he's dragging it away,
I'm pretty sure if Harold couldn't do
Go
it,
get
we
it,
can't
Hogak.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
can you snipe an arrow right through the leather piece without hitting anything? Silently, so it just falls and
On a moving target like that, no problem.
So short bow. you
I'll
don't
give
have
him my longbow.
sharpshooter. Yeah, right.
fine. I'll do it myself. Everybody, stand in front of me.
Disadvantage on the attack roll. Shooting at something that's like, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch wide.
So what you're
Sure.
saying is I need at least a 10.
I'm saying probably AC of about 26.
It doesn't
I
sound
could
like we're
do
meant
that.
to get this axe.
No,
Not yet, at least.
not yet. We'll have to mark this on the map.
And hope that you don't nick the bay here on it as well.
All right. Don's made it quite clear. The gods have spoken. We shall run.
I'm not saying don't. I'm just telling you.
That's GM speak for don't. Trust me, I know. All right, let's leave.
Really, because no other group I've ever done this with has ever taken a hit.
We're level 3. You need a 26. That's impossible.
I got a +2. Yeah, I got a +2 with my longbow. So if I just add another 5 and roll a 20,
You know what? When you've got a ranger who's got sharpshooter and proficiency with a longbow,
I mean, if I max out my bardic inspiration and you max out your roll, it's not impossible, but
well, I mean, nat 20 still hits it, right?
Yeah.
But
so tempting. And then find out it's really just a regular axe.
yeah.
All right, we'll leave.
it's like a regular axe that glows.
Some worthy adventurer will find it one day.
We'll come back for it.
All right. So tell me how you are leaving. Like, are you guys running? Or are you guys kind of like scurrying?
I
for
feel
the
like
first-
if it's going the other way, Dragon Herald, we're gonna make due haste.
Okay. Set up a travel order for me. Just rough positioning again. If somebody's walking next
You're
to
probably
somebody.
about 300 yards out front of everybody.
I'm gone. Fuck the axe. I was have made my mind up way a long
You
time
see
ago.
these way deep footprints in the snow from Brego running, carrying all the scrap metal on his back.
Yeah, I.
Art is following me.
He's run so fast, you can see spots where he spilled his drink.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the rust monster and I'll be like, "Follow me," and start running.
So the rust monster was on a leash. Who is currently? Because I mean, it's not really trained.
Who
Yet.
was
You guys are
holding the
basically.
leash? I don't
I was
feeding
hoping it
him.
would just run after me and try to eat me.
It probably. I mean, at the very least,
Well,
it thinks your armor smells good.
It might be following me. I have 60 pounds of iron in my backpack,
Right.
so
Yeah.
maybe Art can. Would Art even be able to hold him?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like that's not proportionate.
Yeah.
Like it would be.
Art can hold him.
It's a rust monster that at this point I'd say is probably about the size of like a cocker spaniel.
Okay. Yeah, we already determined he can't ride him. So
Yeah, it's too small for
that's
him to ride.
unfortunate. We'll have to feed him.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
We need to get one of those circlets of intellect or something and boost his intellect so we can train him. And
Right. Find a high level druid and cast Awaken on it.
yes, or that. Yeah. Anyway,
You're a ways from being that high level. I think it's a 5th level spell.
I forget. So I'm running through the snow up to my knees with 60 pounds of iron and drums and a lute. This sounds awesome.
yeah.
And you are happier than you have been this whole trip.
We're heading the right direction now.
It's cold. It's wet. I
Yeah.
hate it. There's no warm fire.
So-
There's no barmaids. And fucking bay hairs.
I feel like we
having the
still
time of
have
your
to.
life.
We were still heading in a direction for a reason, so we're gonna have to try to not run so far back that we have to start over again, but run enough until it's kind of like a distance.
But you guys
And
had
try
kind of
to
like
find another
intersected
path.
with this thing. Like it wasn't necessarily in the way. You'd heard like some growling or something.
Okay.
Somebody gone to check it out, I think. And
I think we should double back a good ways and then start making our way a bit more of a circle around it.
now, so Brego, you're kind of leading things right now.
I was leaving when they were thinking about the axe.
So you're kind of like running, but
Yes.
as you guys kind of regroup,
Yeah.
who's leading the way as you kind of regroup and
I mean, do we?
Are we going to stop for a minute and like say a word for Harold? Like have a moment?
No,
Oh, okay.
I mean you might at some point when you think
it's cold out. We gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta find somewhere to camp.
Yeah.
Or at least
I think
shelter.
I don't know. None of us really know where we're going.
No. Well,
So-
we divulged from where we were heading to follow the noise that we heard to end up there. So are we going to head back to where we...
What time of day is it right now?
I think it's like mid-morning or something like that.
Okay,
I
so
think
yeah,
you
why
guys
don't we
have been traveling
regroup,
super
figure out,
well.
and we can maybe loop around the area a little bit and continue on in the same direction.
Sure.
Nothing smells better than early morning death.
Yeah, early morning.
Like, did Harold give us any kind of direction, like at all?
He didn't know where we
He
were
didn't
going.
know exactly
Yeah.
where you were going either. He basically all you guys know is you're crossing the mountain.
Yeah.
Clearly
And,
didn't know where the Bayhere nest was either.
Wow,
So
that's tricky.
I'll
Maybe he did.
lead. I'll
Maybe
lead.
he did know where it was.
Yeah.
Give me a survival check.
That is a 15.
Nice. Okay.
My God.
You guys wander, kind of trying to get out of the path of this bay here for a while, but you're pretty confident that
So we're heading back this way now.
you're pretty confident that you get back in the general direction that you wanted to head anyway. Let's do.
So I went from cold to sweating to cold again. Not good.
How much of a survival game do you want me to turn this into?
Not that much.
Now, did you guys want to? It's up to you. Obviously, you can't benefit from a long rest yet, but if you guys decide that you want to like stop and set up for a short rest someplace, kind of catch your breath, get your bearings.
We haven't
maybe-
done anything since our last
Yeah,
rest.
I
so-
mean, unless we
Maybe say a
physically
word.
need to, then I wouldn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Aside from the little bit of run there.
Yeah, but I mean, we're all in good shape. I got great cardio.
Yeah, you're a boat builder. You work all day. There you go.
I got 18 strength from lifting boat beams.
Cutting
Over
down
my
trees.
I'm not in bad shape. I'm just a little bit of a whiner.
Yeah. Hey, most of the guys in the gym are. Let's face it.
Little bit, huh?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those gym rats bitching and moaning all day because they're wet and they're cold and their hair's not gelled
Right.
God, so many
and they're
guys.
starting their period.
Talking about whether or not somebody's ripped or jacked.
Yeah.
I don't want to get back into that life.
I've been comfortably avoiding it for going on 40 years.
Yeah. It's like, damn it, I forgot to go to the gym last decade.
I haven't worked out in like 3 years. So much that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh god. Can you spot me? Go to spot me. They nearly killed themselves. You didn't tell me you're trying to do the 1 rep of death. Idiot. Fuck.
Yeah. When they say you spot, you'd be like, yeah, just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. Anything else?
Way better at spotting yoga than I am at the gym.
Nice. Spotting yoga classes from across the park.
It's so hard not to be a pervert while teaching. It's so hard not to. Like we're gonna do a downward dog, and pretty well my gaze just goes right to the ground. Just nope, I can't. Just everyone's doing
Blindfolded yoga.
That's why you do yoga with senior citizens.
good. Yeah, I still have to keep my eyes at the ground.
But everything is laying on the ground, so
That's why.
yeah.
Like stretch. Oh, that looks stretched enough.
Yeah, that is way too stretched.
Maybe can we unstretch this?
Yeah.
How many rubber bands do we have here? We need to tie that back up.
And get the old man with the small shorts on.
Right. Grandpa just hanging out there.
Good old Gary.
I think some of those guys do that on
alright.
purpose.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys get heading in the back in the direction you want.
That we think we want anyway.
Hey, we're just traversing mountains. That's what I know about mountain traversal.
So the weather kind of stays.
Point in a direction and go.
The weather kind of stays lightly overcast through the
Mountainish.
morning. As you get past roughly what you figure is midday, it starts to brighten up. The clouds start to disperse a little bit. You can, you didn't have particularly encumbered vision before, but basically as you're looking out, you're looking at almost like a solid field of white. You're basically trekking across like a glacier at this point.
I am keenly looking for
Who has proficiency in survival? I know you do.
I don't.
I don't.
You don't.
Yeah,
Give me a survival check with advantage.
well, that's not doing anything. Hey, that's a better one. And survival, that's 21.
21. You haven't spent really any time up in areas like this, but as somebody who's traveled in the wilderness as much as you did in your youth, you kind of paid attention to things because you never really knew where you were going to end up next. You've heard stories as you kind of look out on this ice field in front of you. You've heard stories about people walking and suddenly like just the ground opening up and fissures underneath and people falling to their death, or creatures like bayhairs or other things kind of coming up from burrows in the ice. You recognize that this is potentially very, very treacherous. And give me, well, actually, let me know. Would you share that information with the group, or do you just kind of keep trekking, or would you kind of be like, okay, guys, hang on, let's regroup and get a plan here?
Well, my thoughts would be let's just throw some of the scrap metal out in front of us and let the rust monster run out. And if anything pops up, we know don't go there.
Take a helmet, tie it on a rope, and like a stick, and just kind of like lead him out.
Pretty well, like just.
He's little though.
Yeah,
Again, he's about the size of a cocker spaniel. So
Yeah,
it'd be like sending Arda. Arda could walk across something, and then Ulfar steps out with.
So, sorry, we're sending out the rust monster
Yeah.
in front to make sure that he doesn't fall.
Well, that was a thought.
Yeah.
It's just too
Why
small
don't we
to do that.
go old school and just tie a small tree branch to his back? Like, put like a 6-foot pole.
But do we have
Again,
any idea
again,
about this though?
the thing is that whether it's
He's
the
not
rust
heavy
monster,
enough to make a difference.
Yeah, like the rust monster is like 15, 20 pounds. He's not very, like I said, he's
Okay,
he's like,
well
he's
then,
like this big.
I don't mind doing that to myself.
Yeah.
Or you have the javelin still, right?
Yeah, but how long is a javelin? Like,
You just need to be able to stab him to the ground. If it keeps going, we
no,
know
I
that's
was
a
actually
hit.
thinking of literally like if like not to metagame too much, but like when you dog sled,
Yeah, but-
they tie like trees to their sled, so if it goes through the ice, it catches on
it
both
catches,
sides.
yeah.
Yeah, similar idea. Like
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
tie it to myself.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd have a javelin anyway, probably as like a,
Or you guys,
a walking poking stick.
Or you could tie yourselves together, something like that. Well, that's basically what I'm
Yeah.
if you're doing anything. So just to give you kind of a rough representation, and this is not at all to scale, but it's kind of like back here is a bit more mountainous.
Do you want to test our luck?
Kind of like Apparently, I need to grab another marker. This one's
Yeah, that's the other thing. Just what is the terrain around us before we start
purple.
playing?
It's a purple one. I'm good. Yeah, and then kind of so there's kind of like it's way rockier, kind of back here, but as you're looking out this way, it's kind of like this massive expanse that's. There's still some breaks to it. You would see like some snow drifts, and you'd probably see a couple of like fissures, like basically crevasses in the in the floor. But you're kind of looking out at that. You can see more peaks like a few miles away, but there is this big ice field between you.
I feel like maybe in that case, I shouldn't go first because I'm the heaviest and the strongest.
Well, I was going to say, like, do we want to just send Arda out with the javelin? That way, if he goes through,
Does
he's
anybody
not
have
go-
a rope?
I got,
I do.
50
I got
foot.
50 feet.
Yeah, how much? 50?
Yeah.
Well, I think don't all of the packs come with 50 feet of rope?
I'm pretty sure that's like a standard pack thing if you brought a pack with you, yeah. I mean,
Which
this-
pack did you take, Phil?
Adventuring gear. It should have auto-loaded it in, but it obviously didn't, so if it was supposed to be in there.
Burglars has it. So Diplomats doesn't have it.
Oh yeah, you can. It says I can also add items. So it has a leather pack here in the back, typically made with straps. You can also strap items such as a bedroll or coil of rope to the outside of the backpack.
Yeah.
So I guess it was up to me to add that. So
well, I mean, every class gets either some sort of pack to bring with them.
Well, the Priest pack, Scholars pack, Entertainers pack, and Diplomats pack do not come.
Okay.
I took the adventuring gear, so I should have a rope. Pack.
Yeah, if he has an adventuring pack.
Adventuring pack. Is that like. So there's an
Oh, explorers, you mean?
Explorers pack?
It says adventuring gear backpack. I don't know.
Okay, so.
Guess I'll
Okay,
pick
yeah,
the
so
one I took.
adventuring gear is just like a class of stuff. Like, that's
Oh,
this whole
okay.
column here.
Oh, I see.
Is just adventuring
Oh,
gear.
so you probably so that would have made you build your own pack
page is that?
probably.
But you would have had that just as part of the pack that you picked. So, as a bard.
Oh, maybe I picked the. I gotta get a disguise kit with it from somewhere.
So you picked either Diplomats pack or Entertainers pack.
Entertainers, I imagine,
Okay.
because that would make more sense for my character because
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean,
adventure.
either way, we have 100 feet
Feet of
between
rope,
us,
yeah.
so we
Right.
don't need that much.
I don't. If we're discussing it, I think that it makes sense to be tied together. If we are
Yeah.
having that conversation, but
Well, why don't?
Can I? I mean, this bit is literally all random rolls, so I can't give you advice as to what's going to happen. But if I can chime in with something, he's got proficiency with survival.
Yeah.
He's heavy enough to break through anything. You're strong enough to pull him out, and he's pretty nimble too. So,
Yeah. I feel like if I went at the back,
and to metagame a little bit, now you turn into a fucking squirrel, which is really easy to pull up a rope.
Yeah.
I think you should go first. You should go in the middle, and I'll go at the back as I can anchor.
Yeah.
Because I also have I have my athletics checks and everything, so I get advantage with all that stuff. And I also have the highest strength, and I also weigh the most with heavier armor. So
Yeah. Be
Yeah.
the best anchor.
what are you doing?
sounds good to me.
I'm looking at the bright,
Oh, at your
at
hair.
the curve right on in the mirror.
All right, so yeah, I'll go at the back. We'll tie each other off. 50 feet of rope is good. You don't want 100 feet of loose rope between us. So
No.
yeah, otherwise that's when you hear
Dude, the
snap.
rope, I was going to say,
Yeah, we
the
all-
rope, the rope worked.
We all Gwen Stacy ourselves when we right before you hit the bottom of the crevasse.
Right.
You snap your neck.
Or you just hit the bottom of the crevasse.
Yeah, there's still like 10 feet of rope coming down when you're already smashed in the bottom.
But that'll be easy to pull the body up.
When I was roofing, we used to laugh because you'd be in places where you technically had to rope off, but you're literally like 11 feet off the ground. It's like, if I fall off here, I will hit the ground before the rope catches me. Like, just
Yeah.
the angle that you're on or something.
But yeah, so you go first.
Yeah.
I'll give you one of my. Do you want one of my javelins? I guess, which I have to
Well-
write down, and that way you can kind of like stick the ground a little in front of you if you want, or you
Yeah.
just. I mean, it's up to you. I don't care. You don't have to.
I think with me being out of the wild, I was just saying, like, if we were going to put someone else first, give them the javelin to give them a chance to get back. But as long as the rope's tied to me, I could just wild shape, climb
Okay.
up the rope.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
And
Is that like a cantrip, like a bonus action? Wild
No,
shape?
so basically, so normally druids don't get wild shape till second level. What we've done is we've given Hogak a scaled down version.
Yeah.
So instead of suddenly being able to wild shape into something with a CR of like 1/4, he can do things that are a CR of 0. Presently, that don't have a swim speed or a fly speed. you can use it. Well, I think fairly we would say you've got one use of it right now for up to half an hour, and you recharge that on a short rest.
Yeah.
So
yeah, first time I'll go. If I fall through, then afterwards I'm gonna have
Yeah.
a javelin.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right, so I'm now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these guys will just follow.
Arda can
behind.
just follow behind with
Yeah.
their
Not tied, probably.
I'm
Because they're
here.
walking on the snow. These two,
Yeah, that makes
presumably.
sense. They
Yeah.
scaled down
Like
to
if
that,
we're
it's
not going
right.
in, they're not
Sure,
going in.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, works for me.
Then the other thing, do we want to head to like a rocky path where we know we're a bit safer and we're not trudging through snow and risking that, or do we just
it's,
want to try and straight?
it's all open in front of you. So I mean, you're literally like
Oh,
it's
okay, so
kind of like to scale it back even more.
Yeah, here, I can-
It's kind of like if there's mountains back here, and
Yeah.
you guys have come
The
out of
distance
here,
from here to there is not 100 feet,
and,
though,
and
right?
you're
It's-
no like that's what I mean. Like this is
It's in the
this is
distance.
like a couple of miles.
Yeah.
So you've got more mountains over here, but literally there's like this big glacier that's kind of running this way between you and there.
Yeah, I watched Bear Grylls. We can do this.
Yep, we know.
Right.
You watched what?
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, lead the way.
Yeah.
Did never get in on some sweet mountain ops training. That's a shame.
No.
I used to chill with those guys. That was the one reason I wanted to go infantry. I want all the cool courses.
What is this music that's on right now?
This is Vorruna.
This sounds like straight out of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like just when they're not singing, just
Yeah.
like the
This is
background.
Fjord.
Which one is it?
It was like what before they were singing, and it was just the horn. It's just like,
album.
Okay, I'll have to give it another look then.
Yeah, Worldwide 2020.
So,
All right. Well,
in that case, I'm
Let's
just gonna
go.
roll
start-
tests.
Start heading across, and
The album is Keith Ralphin.
keep rolling.
Keith Ralphin.
Definitely have to get that.
Anyone interested in our non-copyright infringing soundtrack? Apparently, because
Yeah, because
we
it definitely
play-
should still do
Yeah,
that.
we've got Vordruna and Danheim, and what's the other one we play a lot of?
Halo?
I don't do a lot of Heiling. It's I don't know. I
Uh,
like some of it. It's a little bit more like hard German,
Mhm.
so
No,
I don't feel it's quite as good a fit.
it was atmospheric.
yeah.
You gotta wait for the right time.
Forndom, Forndom.
Borned him.
So-
Barely knew him.
The dad jokes.
When you're a dad.
We just officially renamed a pixie because of a dad joke.
I know.
It's the only way to live.
Yes.
It makes it easier to remember.
Live, dad, or die.
I've had a good run.
Okay. Hogak,
Mm-hmm.
what we're going to do is kind of a series of random rolls as you were moving across. So as you're basically picking your way across, I will have you make... Let's keep track of this. Give me 1 second to set up. Discuss amongst yourselves. Hogak leading the party. Is this the end or not?
It's not. We're gonna be fine.
We'll make it. That is going to be a lot of half-hour breaks.
I mean,
charge that back up.
I do have a dagger. Worst case scenario, it's just a rope.
Yep. I'm gonna
Some of us are gonna make it.
definitely making sure I'm holding on to that wild shape. It's like rope gets cut. Wild shape. I'm gonna walk. Fuck you guys. I'm going back. But yeah, I think the best thing is just to go as far as we can and get near to a mountain, so we know there's bound to be something underneath us. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. And depending on how far this
Unless
is,
an
we're gonna have
avalanche.
to find like a cave or some kind of a shelter at some point.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be near one of
Yeah.
the mountain sides.
It might be at the bottom of a crevice.
Yeah.
It's nice and insulated down there.
Yeah.
If we can find a way to climb down. Artist, tell us how it feels. Just Spartan kick 'em. Is it warm? Still just cradling.
Yeah. Oh, my dear Harold. What have you done?
I just wanted to hug you, and here you are just hitting me with your axe. Why?
Nobody understands the joy bay here.
Yeah.
It's
funny. Look like Joy, smelt like what's her name there? Freaking Oprah, or who's the black woman on that show?
Whoopi.
Whoopi. Jesus, I had it earlier. Whoopi.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Grossest woman I ever lived.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a guy on the planet that can watch that show for more than 30 seconds.
Oh,
without
well,
leaving the
I
room.
mean, not anyone who's respectably calling themselves. Yeah.
30 seconds. And I'm out.
I mean,
Show is this?
The View.
Oh, yeah.
You have never been married. You've probably never had to watch it.
Nope.
I'm married for 13 years and I've never had to watch it. Thankfully,
I've watched a few minutes of it from here and there.
Yeah, no, Stacey's never watched it.
No.
I had to watch a knife over top of my face. Does that
Actually, my wife gave
What?
up
count? I
on
had
it.
to watch her holding a knife over my face. Does that count?
My wife gave up on it because when Trump was in it, became just completely a political show. It wasn't
Well,
about
yeah.
anything else.
What else did anything become?
Yes.
So that's the scream I'm going to be making if I fall through one of these crevices there.
Hopefully it doesn't last that long because that's a long way down.
Yeah. Well, it depends how much rope you leave for me to fall. Guys, let's creep
Well,
up.
there's
10
got to
feet.
be like, 15 feet between us, I guess?
Yeah.
15 or 20 feet if we have 115 or 150-foot rope. And 20 feet between us.
Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, if you fall more than 5 feet before your rope,
It's probably going to hurt.
it'll probably kill you. Yeah.
Yeah, you usually want to be walking so that there's not much.
Oh,
Yeah,
slack
you have to
in the
keep
line.
it tight. If you I think they said up to even up to 3 feet sometimes of a sudden drop is enough to especially if it's just tied around your waist.
Well, if you go straight
it'll-
down, yeah.
It'll just snap your back.
Yeah.
Even the harnesses I used to use when I was mining, they're like, if you fall more than, because it's a 5-foot break, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to slow you down to try not to just instantly kill you. And then if you hang there for more than 10 minutes, you'll just die.
Yeah, I guess. It's not like you're wearing a harness. It's tied around your waist.
It's a Swiss seat. We'll just tie our own little rope harnesses with it.
Yeah. Guys, why do you keep trying to tie it around my neck? Stop.
First time I ever rappelled, I had to rappel with my own harness that I tied myself. It's like, I hope I did it right.
Yeah.
It's long ways to fall because I forgot to tie one knot right,
Oh, God.
and it's not comfortable.
No, that does not sound like it.
Yeah, but it's not something you're doing for fun. It's supposed to be an emergency situation, right?
Yeah. It's like you need to make it down this hill now, and you only have rope.
Because you have the choice of either attempting this or getting shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tie one now. I can't remember at all how to do it.
Still try if you had to, I bet.
Oh, I'd figure something out.
Just throw the rope over the edge and wait somewhere for the guy to come and check the rope.
And then just push him in the back. Yeah.
Hopefully
Works
there's
every
only
time.
one guy. Hopefully there's only
Yeah.
one guy. It's hard to push 8 guys over.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how determined you are.
It's hard to imagine a situation where you'd have time to tie a rope harness as you're being chased.
Yeah, a lot of the training is it's good to know, but not practical.
If you're doing it all the time, it'd be something good to know. Or if you do it like climbing for fun.
Yeah, like if you were say climbing and something happened to your harness where you couldn't use it anymore because it broke or something and you needed one to get down, but in an actual life or death situation, you don't have 45 minutes to tie your own harness.
Right.
Yeah. Especially if you're not super proficient at
Yeah,
it.
plus you'd have to have some fucking Rambo nerves of steel to tie all those knots as there's people chasing you.
Yeah. You're experienced in dangerous situations. They don't even bother you anymore.
I believe it's comfortably numb.
I can't even tie my shoelaces. I was bend over for more than 45 seconds. My back hurts so much.
All right. So, sorry about the delay. As you progress across, describe to me what you're doing, and I will tell you what kind of a roll
Say
I want
not
you
falling
to
down a
make.
crevice. Crevasse.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just slowly.
So what you're looking at right now, like right in front of you, looks reasonably solid. But you know, like again, there's drifting snow.
There's nothing to be trusted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd poke the ground with the spear a little bit.
Yeah. As I'm walking, I'm just using the blunt end of the spear just to poke, or the.
Give me an investigation check.
This is no time for a blunt.
Prodding
Cat
your way
was
across
waiting for the
there.
kids to be quiet, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Intelligence.
My
Yep. 20.
my refugee
Okay.
cat. Not cat.
You begin moving across, and it's not long. Like, it's not like 10 feet, but you're like 150 feet across. And as you kind of you poke down on one side, it's fine. Poke down in the middle, it's fine. You poke down to the right of you, and you basically just watch this snowdrift give way under the tip of the javelin, and you can't tell how big the hole is. You see a chunk about, say, 6 to 8 inches kind of disappear. You don't feel anything under it, though. So
I'm gonna take an immediate sidestep.
see, it's kind of off here, but yeah, presumably you're gonna.
I don't know how far of it stretches underneath, it stretches back, wherever. I'm taking
Sure.
a sidestep then.
You know what? Let's draw it in as you go.
Yeah.
Let's I'm gonna turn you guys all around here.
No, we were going the wrong way entirely.
Right. Well, it's just easier for me to draw it in this way,
Gotcha.
and I don't actually care if you stay standing up or not. You little baseless halfling, you. So basically, you discover some kind of a rift there. You don't know where it goes. You don't know how far, but it does kind of stay. It seems to be to the right of you, not directly in
We're
front.
about to find out it's 50 feet wide and it's this long.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that being discovered, I'm just gonna let everyone know, like on the right, we're not. Just be careful here and stay a bit further to the left.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna sidestep to the left and just kind of keep poking a bit further up.
I will let you give me either investigation or survival. So basically, if you're poking, I'll take investigation. If you're kind of like using your judgment of what everything looks like and where this was and stuff like that, it'd be survival.
I'm going to investigate. I just want to make sure he doesn't hook in right now, so I'm just going further ahead.
Sure.
12, 16.
16.
Mark this on the map for where we can dump your future girlfriends.
Oh, I already have spots.
Did you get what I sent you? Somebody's giving away a free hot tub. There's the heater's not working.
A friend of mine built a hot tub one time out of like an old gas hot water tank. He put it in an outhouse in the yard, and that was the heat for the hot water tank.
It says free hot tub needs heater. Just bought a new control panel for it, thinking that was the issue. Was wrong. Just done with it. Come pick it up.
There you go.
Stone Mills. That's that way, isn't it? No. I think that's in Kingston.
I don't think so. Is it? I don't know. I think. I thought it was up towards Smith Falls.
think it
It's north of Greater Napanee.
Oh, okay.
Up that way. That's where it took me on the map.
Okay. Kind of like between here and Tamworth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, why am I doing that?
So as you move forward, it appears to be safe and solid in front. You don't find any more fissure as you kind of move to the
future
side.
ex-girlfriends. We found a great place for them.
Yeah. You kind of move to the side a little bit, and things
hookers.
look reasonably solid.
Good spot to bring from second round too.
To carry them all the way over here, though. All right. Well, we'll just continue. We'll keep the line a bit tight. Like we'll make sure the time.
You can give me another roll. Same thing. Basically, as you guys are going, this is what's going on. You guys presumably are just kind of like following, like kind of one hand on the rope, one hand on a weapon.
Yeah,
Watching everything.
and making sure to keep the rope fairly tight between us.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we're on like relatively flat terrain right now, right?
At the moment, it's fairly
He falls
flat.
in. It'll be
Yeah.
127 sessions.
What's that?
I said he falls in and jams his arm in there, and 127 sessions
Yeah,
later.
that's right.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, I got the cantrip, guy, so I can just use that and push no as well. maybe start.
Gust probably isn't strong enough
Yeah.
for that. No, it's
No.
more like a fart in the wind type thing.
You can definitely push somebody into a crevasse with it, though.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Um,
I mean, yeah. No.
That's where you get creative uses of all of these wind spells. Where it was like, oh, that's shit. Yeah, there's a bunch of. But you're on a bridge. There's a bunch of ogres in front of you. Yeah, gust of wind.
Yeah.
Or what's the bigger wind one? It's like a second or third. I think it's a second.
yeah, because gust of wind is just a cantrip.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can move things with like
Yeah.
5 feet. But there's a bigger one that will move things like 10 feet or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Thunder wave.
Yeah, Thunderbeard does it too. Anything like that, it's like, yep, they all.
And then it's just a massive avalanche as all the mountains just pour down into
Yeah.
us.
And the
yeah.
bridge that you were also on is now gone.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, keep leading the way because
Yep.
we gotta
Yeah.
we
This
gotta
is
do
working
this
good.
before nightfall too. Otherwise, I'm in charge from then on out. So, all right.
I thought you were in charge.
No, not right. Not today.
So yeah, after that, I'm just gonna keep leading ahead.
Okay.
Found the one.
Give me another check.
Rinse and
This is
repeat.
literally just going to be a series of
There's a
checks
rinse
as you
and
guys are
repeat.
going. If somebody wants to do something else in between, then you let me know. But otherwise, you're kind of progressing like a couple 100 feet at a time, kind of poking around.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep.
The
rolling
bay here comes
investigation.
running out at us from nowhere, and as it's running across the field, just goes poof, gone forever.
Don't go over there. We're not going
The
over
cool
there.
thing about that is literally like you would watch it disappear, and then a couple seconds later, you just watch it scrambling back up again.
Oh shit! I can climb.
Huge wild lives and a climb speed of 40 feet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And ice? Come on, yeah, just like
Claws. 8, 4. That's 12.
12.
Investigation.
You don't detect, you don't notice anything in front of you. And by the way, I should ask as well, like if you're changing direction or if you're moving
No,
around.
I'm just going straight until I see something in front, then I'm just going to detect to go around.
You're just
yeah.
kind of like picking a point over here that you're aiming for.
I'm just trying to get to that fixed point, and then from there roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give him one bardic inspiration right now that he can use over the next 10 minutes at any point he wants?
You can, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some encouraging words and be like,
Don't fall in a
"You're
hole.
doing a great job, man." And pat him on the back, maybe get a little close, pat him on the back, be like, "Yeah, don't forget you got an extra D6 if you need it."
I want you to know, man, when you feel down, here's an extra D6. Okay.
Fuck out.
In case you have a bad roll.
All right.
It's gonna happen.
And you can give me another one.
Yep. That's 15.
15.
Yep.
And you're still poking around.
I'm continuously poking, and then I'll do survival when I see something.
You suddenly you move forward a little bit. Well, you're.
because we moved because we were
I
there.
was gonna say we're gonna go from here to here for this. This seems safe.
This is
you
the
get
bad
to here.
side.
Yeah. You suddenly, this hole opens up right in front of you. You kind of do like a whoa. Well, actually, give me a dex save.
Okay, God. That's 17.
17. You managed to stop yourself and kind of pull yourself back enough to avoid going in here. Brego, give me a dex save.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are walking fairly close together. Just because he stops in time doesn't mean that you do.
18.
18. All right, you guys are good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do this all the way back the line. You're not walking on top of each other.
Yeah.
Much fun as it would be to do a cartoon thing where the rust monster bumps into the halfling, who bumps into Ulfar, who bumps into Brego, and knocks Hogak into the hole.
Yeah.
Amusing as it would be, we won't do that.
So we're not doing the Three Stooges?
No. So you find this hole in front of you. Tell me where you go or what you're doing.
Well, we know there is the one to the right, so it might lead up along this way here, so I'm going to start going to the left.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep checking along here, so I'll do another. Oh, no. I'm going to use that Bard Inspiration. Yeah. 6, 12, it's 16.
16?
Yeah.
It appears safe to move along this way, and as you poke along a little bit more, it looks as though the hole kind of goes back towards the right a little bit.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep following a straight path along here then.
Okay.
I was like, do I just keep doing bardic inspiration? But I may need one eventually.
You, what did you roll?
7.
Yep. You don't detect anything in front of you. It looks like it's safe.
Might be fun to see what happens.
Yeah.
Fine.
Let's roll the
You
dice.
can't play the dice. Got to play your character.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
So I'm going
So
straight.
you can give me another one.
That's 15.
It still appears to be safe in front of you.
Okay.
As you get up a little bit further, so this is not to scale. This is like hundreds of feet as you're traveling here.
Yeah.
6. You see.
It matters.
You see another hole open up in front of you. It looks kind of like this. You see snow kind of falling over the edges down in, and snow kind of. There's a lot of drifts of snow here. It's a little bit lower than it has been in a couple of other places. Mm-hmm. And as you see this in front of you, do you go close enough to look down?
I would like to do a survival check on that.
Sure. Yeah, give me a survival check.
Yeah, just like the look at what's going on, where the snow is going, if it's super.
Give me a perception check just to see kind of like what you notice, or as you're kind of looking around.
I'm sorry, guys.
What is it?
That's a 3 inverse perception.
Feels like an 8.
He's going snowblind. You did say the sun was out now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious how far down they are. Is it like a mile down, or is it only like 100 feet?
I don't know if we've gotten close enough
Yeah,
to see
8.
yet.
Because I mean,
Nobody's looked.
Nobody's
Yeah.
looked yet.
8.
Pardon? 8.
it could also just be like literally underground system of caves down there
Yeah,
that
you
we could
it could
follow.
be like a
look
walking path.
as you kind of peek down a little bit. It looks fairly big down there. You don't notice anything. It from where you're looking. All you see is basically like this icy cavern that drops down. You're not sure quite how deep it is in the glance that you give it.
I feel like pretty comfortable. Maybe is it like too dark for him to see down there?
No, it wouldn't be super dark. I mean,
okay. I thought maybe I could take a look down.
Deep.
yeah, I mean, it could just be you're kind of distracted or something. Like, presumably, you're the guy at the front, right?
Yeah.
So if you fall, so you kind of like, yeah, there's a big hole here.
So as I'm walking by one, do you mind if I take a look down one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just kind of see what's down there and how far, like in case one of us does fall, I have an idea of what we're.
Up against.
Yeah. Jeez, that's a 6. Plus an 11.
Better than me, man. So 17. You
No, 11.
Oh, 11 total. Okay.
Yeah, total.
You look down one. You think if someone is going to fall down here, you think it's probably over 50 feet anyway.
I kind of want to send someone down there to see what's at the bottom. Because, like, what happens if this is like like a system we can just follow under the ice? Like, if there's like an underground river type thing, we can.
But all you have to do is just tell my guy, so there could be a dead body down there and stuff to loot, and
Yeah.
I'm game to go climbing.
If it's only like 50 feet, I mean, I could just lower you down.
And I've got another 50 feet of rope to lower me down. You guys can stay tight for an anchor.
Up to you guys.
Yeah.
You tell me what you want to try.
Do you want to do that?
I'm
I just at least take.
I'm
a
pretty
look
sure
down there.
my character's looking back and forth between you two, going like, "How the fuck does this get me back to town?"
Do you need a torch to go down there?
I don't know, I can make the little.
There's a bear. All you hear is a bear down there. Oh shit! Should have taken the torch.
Now, you would probably be, Brego, you're probably the one to notice the most. You do notice that the afternoon at this point is beginning to move on a little bit.
It's getting late in the day.
It's not quite, but you're kind of you're aware that it's well past midday, and you remember your last experience of night up here wasn't great. You know you're gonna have a couple of nights up here anyway, but I'm guessing you probably don't want more nights up here than you have to have.
Can we ask Arda if he wants to go down there
You can ask.
just to take a look?
Sure.
Doesn't have to stay down there. I just want to lower him down on a rope and then
You can ask
tell him.
Arda.
All right, I'll ask him. You want me to see if I can persuade him?
That's okay. I just had to make a wisdom save, and he rolled a 1. So he's like, sure, yeah.
All right.
He's just He's just generally helpful. Like he seems pretty positive.
All right, I'm just gonna tell him like, hey, I just want you to go down there. I'll give him a torch if he needs it. Well, actually, we have no way of lighting it really right now anyway, so don't worry about it.
Oh, he could light it. He's got druid craft.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's like a little even lighter now.
Yeah. That goes
Okay, I'll take out a torch from my bag because I have a bunch, and I will get you to light it, and I'll give it to him, and I'll say, "Don't burn your rope."
You're gonna tie him off, and
I'll tie him off, and I'll just lower him down the hole, and
Sure.
just see, tell him, tell me what you see down
I guess I'm holding on to this guy. Then I got the leash.
So are you lowering him down into this one that's right in front of you?
Yeah, I might as well. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Give me a second because I do have a character sheet for Arda.
Don't need one anymore.
He's going
Right.
down like that.
Oh, that's good. So as you lower him down, he seems pretty this looks pretty cool. As you've looked down in this, but as he's going down with a torch, even though it's not really dark down there, you can see the light of the torch kind of glinting off of all of these different surfaces. There's kind of a surreal thing. He looks up and he warns you that to the side is all loose snow, and that this actually continues on in both directions in front of you. And he tells you,
Always handy to have a halfling or a gnome or whatever
he
it is.
tells you that this crevasse from down where he is looks like it's about the part that you wouldn't want to walk on anyway. Looks like it's about 20 feet wide. And you hear him at one point, as he gets closer to the bottom, you hear him go, "Wow!" And he kind of points, and you see what looks like the skeleton of some kind of a giant, kind of half frozen in the ice.
I want to climb down there and loot.
I'll yell down to him and say, "Is there any way we could walk down there?" Because I mean, we're obviously
As he
Well,
gets
as he's
to kind
pointing
of
that out, I can be going along with Brego and pointing out the snow to see how far that tracks, if there is a walk.
as you
down.
get to the end
Yeah.
of the rope, he's still dangling about 10, 15 feet off the ground. He tells you you could probably move around down here, but he's not sure how easy it would be to get back up the other side.
We can tie 10 more feet on the rope, and he can.
Well, we have
fuck
another.
around down
We
there.
have another 50 feet of rope if we untie ourselves too. But
Like we could just pull him back up.
besides, so really all he sees down there is a skeleton of a giant.
Yeah, there's some. It looks like, I mean, your guess would be that this crevasse was big enough that this giant, basically 127 hours or whatever it was, this
Yeah.
thing fell, couldn't get back out, or broke a leg or something. And
Is there
died
anything
down there.
cool on it?
It's mostly buried under ice and snow at this point, but
So do we want to send me down there? 'Cause
Well,
I'm
kind of thinking it might be a decent place for us to set up a camp.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit out of the
sheltered,
weather. It's
presumably.
sheltered.
And the other thing, I can do the druid craft there and see what the weather's going to be like. So if we're about to get a snowstorm, I can find out that way as well.
You can do your
That
druid
would be
craft.
something.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Do
Yeah,
your
let's do
druid
that.
craft
Yeah,
in
I'm going to do
I
that
don't
so
know what
we
you
know
think.
whether we either.
So
I got
yeah.
24.
what's the description
I
on
don't.
that?
I don't.
Is
I,
it the next
Brego's
24
not going to be
hours?
super pumped
Yeah, it
about
could,
it, but he's
harmless
also wants to
sensitive
be in the
effect that
shelter, so I
predicts
think
the
he
weather
would
will
go
be
like,
for the
wow.
location for the next 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of use your druid craft to kind of figure out what the weather is going to be like, and you get you kind of like some mixed feelings. You kind of see like this little mini weather system kind of appear in front of you. It's almost like, I mean, your character wouldn't know this, but it's almost like watching like a 3D version of the weather map. You know, the weatherman's pointing to. Like you see kind of like this sun. And then you see like a little bit of cloud go in front of it, and then the sun kind of disappears entirely, and it looks like as it's kind of getting darker, all of a sudden snow starts to fall, and then it falls more, and then it falls more, and then it falls more, and then it kind of disappears.
Okay, so
Can he see like a long ways in both directions?
He says it looks like it goes a good distance.
Yeah.
in both
Then it might make
directions,
sense for us to walk, because it's stone at the bottom.
yeah. Ice.
Oh, it's still ice.
It's still
at the
ice.
bottom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
so how many?
That's not great.
And then if it's going to be a lot of snow and we're down there trying to get out when we're getting snowed in, that's going to be
Yeah.
even harder.
Also, it's not a great place to shelter if we're sitting on ice.
Yeah.
I thought it was the bottom of the glacier.
No. I don't know how often you would actually get. I suppose it would be possible, but
It depends on where you are. If you're in the middle, probably not. But if you're near an edge,
if you're on the end,
it might not be
the
1,000
water
feet
could have
thick.
melted it all away or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean there are like under glacier rivers and stuff like that. That's what
Exactly.
I was kind of hoping for.
Right.
That it was like a solid ground that we could kind of set up on. But I don't know if I really want to set up on
So
in an ice cave.
yeah, and the skeleton's not worth freezing to death. Like,
Well,
my
I don't know how we're gonna get back out. That's the real question.
Yeah. Well, we
Well,
have.
if we
have
can like put a javelin, just jam it in the ground and tie off from that, right? Like have the rope.
Well, not even that. We still have I still have 50 feet of rope, so we can bring Arda back up and tie mine on. And
Yeah, but if we're
lower
down there
some-
for the night, we're all going to be down there.
Yeah,
if that's
right.
the plan.
I
Yeah.
And,
Well,
the-
And how much farther do we have before we might be able to get into a
Hey,
sheltered
what's the
area?
distance from? What's the distance off the glacier?
you figure you're maybe a little better than halfway at this point.
and
Or
we
you figure that this actually looks almost like the middle.
the middle, and we've been walking for 4 hours.
You've been walking across this ice for probably about 2 hours.
Oh,
at this
okay.
point.
I think we should try to cross this
Yeah.
and keep going.
Yeah.
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 As much as I'd like to go down there and loot a giant skull
Yeah.
and turn it into a sweet helmet.
And we can always do that in the morning. We'll have a path across.
So, for all intents
Yeah.
and purposes,
This is what we're aware of.
yeah.
And actually,
Yeah, I mean, this is the part you could see. This is what Arda is telling you is a bad idea from underneath.
I'll pull Arda back up.
Okay.
why don't we keep him down there? Keep him down there, and I can go along and poke all this out, and then we know if it stretches any further.
Well, you're going
But
to
he
bury
said-
him in snow.
He said
But
that.
he's in the middle.
Yeah, but he
Well,
said
he's
that
in
it
the middle,
goes.
but he's looking up.
He's in the
and
low spot.
He's basically telling you that he can see like the snow through the thin layer of
Yeah,
ice.
he
that's
says it's
above.
going a long distance in both directions.
So I mean, yeah. So take this as.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be running.
I'll just
You don't
jump
know
in
how
it.
far.
It's only
but
what 10 feet? You said?
20.
Oh,
Yeah, you go ahead and jump that, man. Can we throw Arda across and put a spear in for like to tie ourselves off that way?
None of us are strong enough to throw him across. I don't
Well, like
think.
a running shot.
Running. He is still like 35 pounds. So I mean,
Should have brought a fur boat.
right.
Yeah, I think we're going to be pulling him back up, as you said there, and just testing the ground.
I mean, we have to figure out a way to either. How far. If we look left, right, do we see anything in the near distance?
or we're just clear.
This goes like the ice field goes for a long distance. Like this is kind of traveling between, like you've got a ridge of mountains ahead of you and a ridge of mountains behind you, and this is kind of like this frozen river running down between the two.
Well, I'm gonna take out.
Like, we could throw you across that if you weighed 2 pounds,
Yeah.
and then we could throw you a rope on the other side.
That or the other thing.
You could wild shape into a rabbit, tie a rope to him, swing him around, and hope he survives, and have him turn back. But at the same time,
Why don't
tying
you
a
wild
rope-
shape into a gliding squirrel, and I'll hurl you up in the air, and you glide the 20 feet across.
Yeah.
Yeah, but.
What do you know what a gliding squirrel is?
I don't think those are. I don't think those are native to where you're from.
What's the.
And two, I'm not sure he'd be able to glide very far while holding
Why?
with a rope tied to him.
I don't have to. How far can we throw a spear with a rope tied to it? If we can do it over 20 feet, throw that,
If you
I
get a
wild
spear
shape
javelin,
across, and then
Yeah.
hold and start going that way.
Yeah,
You can try it.
yeah, sure. I'll hurl a.
Try
I'll
it.
tie my javelin up, and I'll throw it across.
So ours is
So-
back up then.
I'm gonna try to throw it at like a high arc too, so it
Yeah,
kind
you're,
of
Makes
like
sense.
you're throwing it specifically to kind of like arc
and
up.
it falls into a hole.
At least I got a rope tied to it. Yeah.
Well, even that would be
It
fine,
just the
'cause I can
whole
still go
field
across.
starts collapsing for like miles. Oh
It's
shit!
like, it's time to go
So
back.
normally to pull off the throw, like just with a javelin, I would say I wouldn't have you do it at disadvantage. I'd just say like AC 15. Because you're tying a rope to it, I'm not going to give you disadvantage. But well, actually, I'll let you pick. I'll either give you disadvantage or I'll raise the armor class by 2. I'll raise the armor class by 2.
So 11. I rolled an 11 plus, I guess my strength.
Strength and proficiency, yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's 6, so 17.
That's exactly what you need.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. So you throw. You guys are watching, and it looks as though this javelin kind of. You see a couple shards of ice fly up as it hits.
All right, do your thing.
Yep.
Oh my god, Karen's obviously listening right now.
Is she?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the feed at all.
Hi, Karen.
They're crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
I'll wild shape into a squirrel. I'll
Sure.
go across the rope.
as you turn into a squirrel up here, your first thought is, man, your nuts are cold over up here.
Hey, they're always cold.
Sure, you scurry across.
I know
the
whose
rope.
nuts are cold? The halfling, because his are only 6 inches off the ground.
He's like, right.
They're
It's like watching a little dog out for a walk in 6 inches of snow, and you can tell he's just like, it's cold, it's cold. Boots, I don't need boots, I need...
His are dragging in the snow. It looks like a tail mark behind his tracks. All right. So once he gets across,
Start sending the light
yeah,
people
I
across.
would probably. I'm gonna stay last.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell we're gonna get a rust monster across.
It's not big.
Yeah.
You could literally...
Well,
Arda could hold it. You could tie it to...
Can we? Do you have a bag?
somebody's-
We can stick it in his
Well-
bag. I'll take the bag. I'll take the bag of metal from you. You put the rust monster in your back and you carry him across.
before
That
we
would work.
before we start all coming across, can I check the train around me to make sure we're not just hitting like a spot where it's just a little spot sticking up?
That is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
really
that's
good
true.
idea. Yeah, give me a check.
I find absolutely nothing.
Well, that's always
That's
always
7.
for me to say.
7.
Well, all you needed was an 8, so you're good. You didn't find anything.
Yeah,
Good
looks,
idea, bad
it looks pretty solid where you are.
This is the part in the 2-hour movie where the comedy comes in. It's like, it's all good, guys. Super confident.
It's all good. Step backwards.
As I say, you take the rope, you step back.
All right, so you anchor yourself in. What I would suggest is,
Arda.
how stuck in the ground is that javelin? Because
Well,
the other
I mean,
option is you take it out and you bury it in the snow.
I mean, that was the
Was
idea,
I-
is that you're gonna
I'm
hold
gonna-
on the
He's
rope
gonna hold
now.
the top of it, right?
Yeah.
Or
Well, there's the one that you threw. There's the
Yeah.
one I had that you gave me, so I can
Yeah.
put one in front of me for like a foothold. So I can
You guys can
brace
plan
my
this out.
foot
I'm
against.
gonna go.
But like
and,
when you're like when you're climbing like through snow and you don't have anything to tie off on, you just take like a log or a stick and you bury it lengthwise in the snow and then pack it down, and then it basically has the same anchor weight as a person at that point.
can't use it like a lever where you're like it's jammed in and you're holding the
I mean,
top of it back. No, that's
guys.
not as good. Okay.
You want to trust your life on a small piece of wood.
At least I'm holding it.
Yeah, no. What you would do is you'd bury it and you'd stand on top and then you'd hold the rope. So there's like a secondary
Oh, I
break
see.
that if something happens,
I have like a
yeah, and also the rope is anchored into the ground because because the javelin is going to be pulling against the snow
Yeah.
and you're going to be holding the rope. So it's like a double.
so I could.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have two. I have 2 javelins with me, so I could do that and put the one in front of me for like a foothold I could push against.
Yeah, or tie them both and bury them both.
Yeah.
And that way you
Or-
have the more surface area you have pushing against the snow. Like you could, like if you had like say if you were skiing and you did it with your ski, you can hang a
What if he,
person off
what
of
if he
that.
sits on his ass in front of the javelin and holds the rope between his legs? So it's got to pull him and the javelin.
Yeah, something like where he's kind of sitting down and the rope because
Yeah.
the javelin's gonna pull forward and you're just gonna hold the rope in case it breaks.
Yeah, like.
But you're like this. You're the secondary break. Yeah, because I mean that way, you know, if shit
So-
happens, shit happens. But
Or,
So who's going next? I'm going next.
Arda.
Arda's going next, and then I'll go with the rust monster.
And then I go last.
What's holding the other end of the rope when you go?
all of you, and I'm just gonna run.
No, but
through.
we're on the. Oh. Okay.
I got no other.
Yeah, there's nothing.
idea.
There's
for-
nothing anchoring the other end of it,
You're
right?
just gonna like try to jump while holding the rope.
So
and
we're gonna take. He's gonna take his 2 javelins, tie them off, and bury them in the snow lengthwise, and then
Okay.
sit on top and hold it as like a. So there's
Sure.
like a double,
like an anchor.
like an anchor, and then he's holding it in case the javelins come loose.
Right.
Arda goes first, then he goes with the rust monster, and then I'm on the other side anchoring that side.
Okay.
And
And I honestly, I think that's probably the best bet. Is I'll tie myself off. Everybody hold on, and I'm gonna run and jump as.
That, or do we want to leave one of the spears with you and you sit in there and just try and like, cross that
I
way?
could try that. Yeah.
We'd be out a spear, but like
Well, if you drop a spear on the other side and leave the rope tied to it, not only are you out the spear, but how do you get the rest of the rope back?
Yeah.
You just cut it.
think that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can get some of the rope, but you're out that.
How far
Well,
could
also
he
I-
jump if he rolled properly? 10
I got a
feet?
strength of 18, so I could probably jump 20 feet
You could.
Well, not
if I
even.
roll high enough. I got an athletics proficiency too, so
I believe it's.
there is a formula for
think-
figuring it out.
I would probably be cheering you on. We could probably inspire that jump.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that I wouldn't be hollering for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're tied to the rope that's going to anchor me when I go flying.
Yeah. We're catching you.
That sounds like a good plan. Especially since you're the one that has to jump.
Yeah.
When you
trying to think
so
here.
on a running long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score. If you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump.
So I have 18 strength, so I can only need to go the extra 2 feet. Is that what you're saying?
It'd be like an extra 4 because I think I described it as about 22 feet. But yeah, you could
It's
get
like a fish story here. Every time he describes it, the gap gets 2
You
feet
could-
longer.
Well,
Yeah.
you were going to jump a minute ago,
Yeah.
so it was about 20.
Yeah,
But
no,
the
that's
first
fine.
time it was-
I mean, I can,
Yeah.
we'll do that, and you guys can all hold on. And I mean, worst case scenario, I'll fall to my death, and I have another character sheet. So you know,
Is it better for us all to wait stationary or to run with the rope?
I'm also gonna. No, you guys should try to pull the rope as fast as you
as
can,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have both my hand axes ready to cling into the other side.
If you run and you don't know exactly what's underneath you, one of you guys could
Yeah.
run into a hole while he falls.
Well, that'll
Yeah.
counterweight. We'll just.
No, I would just.
This isn't going to be a long process as well, like a slow process. I mean, so it's going to take a while. So it's been over the half hour, right?
No.
What, for you to wild shape?
Yeah. So if we have the 2 javelins tied in, I could crawl back, do that, and just as a go to kick the spear over, and as it goes over, wild shape into a squirrel, and just hang onto the rope that
Well,
way.
you haven't taken a short rest, though.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, is it going to like it would it?
Yeah, but you can't
You're-
change
you're-
back and anchor the rope and then change back again.
Yeah,
Like, you've already
Yeah.
that's
changed.
what I was just
No.
thinking. Is there a way of
Basi-
working that out?
Basically, you need to spend an hour as a short
Oh, an
rest
hour.
at least. Short
Yeah.
rest is at least an hour.
So
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
use
that's
one of the
not that long.
50-foot ropes to tie you guys off, and as you go across, you just undo it. And I'll pull it back, tie the next guy on, and they cross and do the same thing over and over
Yeah.
until it's with me. And that way, if someone does fall, at least I have some rope,
Yeah.
and I'll just give them the rope that they need to go.
Sure. Sure.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So Arda goes first.
Yep.
Arda rolled for Arda. He makes it across with no trouble at all. He kind of you tie him on, but he's just
That's not what I thought you were going to say. I totally was like, and he dies immediately? What are you guys going to do? Good
he's
plan.
a halfling and he rolled that. so,
you asshole!
bastard. Yeah, Arda makes it across. He unties the rope and
Okay.
kind of like lets it swing back towards you.
And then old
Me and
Brego and the
me
rust
my
monster.
rust monster.
And he'll and I imagine Arda would kind of go behind Hogak and kind of grab
The rope.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's doing much, but he would grab the rope.
Yeah, that's a
Actually,
little
as
extra
he
help.
grabs the rope,
Yeah.
you find he actually pulls pretty well.
Yeah, we saw him going crazy on those bandits.
Yeah,
he's
he
got
murdered
something
some
behind
people.
him.
I killed a man with a
He's
trident.
got the will to live.
Yeah.
Right. All right,
Okay.
and you're going next.
Yes.
Okay, so give me an. I'll let you pick athletic. Actually, no, give me an athletics check as you're as you're making your way across.
23.
Nice.
That's the
You
right time to roll a 20.
you right. You make your way across with your squirmy little rust
Why the
monster in your
fuck
back.
are we taking a rust monster? Seriously.
Point, like,
I don't. I feel like this is just like
Because Harold
It's an
thought it
honor
was a
to
fun
figure.
idea.
we're just doing it for the sake of Harold,
right.
it's an honor.
and it's definitely been a burden on us. All right,
right,
I'm
you
going
are.
to
He's
undo
swinging
everything, tie myself to the rope that he still has.
right.
Oh, I'm already tied to it. And he's
Sure.
already tied.
They're
to it.
holding the other end of it.
Yeah, and I'm just going to get the longest running jump, and I'm going to tell you guys pull as much rope in as I jump, and I'm going to have both my axes in my hand, and so I can like
Well,
try to stick in if I don't quite.
got
make
hand
it.
axes, and you're just like.
Yeah.
do we want me to go like a couple feet ahead to check where, like, if we're good to run that way? If you're running, we
You
can
kind
like,
of you
run
kind
with
of
the
poked
rope.
around in the general area.
Yeah.
You
I feel
think
confident
it's-
in my own skill
you
sets
think
Yeah.
it's
as I
okay.
die.
Okay.
feel like-
Famous last
I feel like
words.
we're already committed.
Yeah. All right, let's do
Well, I
it.
know.
So,
Commit-
okay, let me
commit
just
to
get
me
this
like
in my head. Sure. Okay, go ahead and roll. I'll let you roll that again because it got.
Oh no, I was so before you read that, I was going to inspire you. You were screaming for him.
That's okay.
Sure.
I got a
If you-
16
If you get a bardic
athletic.
inspiration,
You didn't tell me what to roll. Athletics, I'm assuming.
I just told you to roll the dice. I haven't called anything yet. So if you
Oh.
want to give him bardic inspiration for something,
I think
you
I
can
already
do it.
committed to it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so
No,
you
that
got
was
it for 10
always
minutes.
the plan.
You got it for 10 more
But
minutes.
yeah,
so.
it'll be an athletics check. This is you.
But you don't have to use it right now if you don't want to.
enough.
But
So that's going to be a 19.
19. You, despite the overall slipperiness of the terrain, you find you actually pace it out almost perfectly. You kind of get your feet placed so that there's almost no slippage, and you soar. You don't know if it's the extra.
R. Kelly style, fly like an eagle.
Yeah, you're not playing
As I'm peeing all
I was
over.
going to say the yellow snow trail.
Yeah.
You take off might just be the extra momentum of like you've never tried running and jumping presumably with two hand axes before. It might just be the couple extra pounds per hand, but you like soar across this thing. You guys on the other side, give me dexterity checks.
You see, he's clearly not going to make
I was
it.
going to cut the rope and gust him actually.
He's not
falls.
even close.
Just cut the rope.
Fuck you.
24. Another
24
20.
Hogak. You're at the front, so yours is probably
Hopefully
the
we
most
don't do anything important later tonight.
Dex.
We'll take a long rest if we need to do something important.
Well, I just mean 20,
15.
20.
Yeah.
15 will work. Okay. Yep. So as you kind of reach the apex, you're aware. You can kind of feel these guys are just yanking that rope in quick, and you feel a little extra pull. You land on the other side. You're at the front. You two give me dex saves.
5.
2.
And
I'm still pulling for all I'm worth. I'm only here because of him.
I'm not sure that's a good thing. Dan.
Do we want Art up front to try and catch the dude?
Yeah, too late.
So you are watching. You're like, yeah, this is going really well, and then you realize that there's this 220-pound Viking warrior with whatever he's carrying on his back, soaring straight towards you because you are literally pulling him towards
60
the
pounds
rope.
of iron garbage.
Yeah.
The two of you collide.
Probably would have put that across by itself. That is
So
another
you
point.
guys are kind of like,
Let's just
wow.
never talk about it again.
And you both take 3 points of damage
Oh, that seems
from the collision.
not so bad.
You ever pull another man so hard you give 3 points of damage to him?
Yes.
I've done worse.
These are other military stories.
I've done at least 4 points of damage to myself.
Yeah.
Damn
That was a lot of layers of skin that came off.
Gee, that's not supposed to happen that way.
It's bleeding. Oh no.
That's a rusty venture.
All right, you said 3 points?
3 points.
All right. I can handle that.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're
Well-
now officially halfway across the glacier.
Well
The
done.
glacier is the hardest battle we've had all day. All right.
Are we doing better than Harold?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Harold.
Poor Harold. All right, so tell me what you guys are doing.
I'll get it back up and I'll say, well, let's keep walking.
Untie the ropes.
We got a long ways to go before nightfall.
Yeah.
We'll get back
no,
into
we'll
our
ta-
traveling order.
Yeah.
Get back in the same traveling order, tie each other off, and
So yeah, we're just like right here. Then.
continue on.
Okay. So Hogak, you can give me another check.
You need to take those metal
Nice.
dice and just hurl them into the crevasse.
Well, I've had a few good rolls with them at the start. There, I was getting
When?
20s.
When?
So
When we were back here, I was doing good. I was getting 20,
what
16.
did you roll?
5, 9.
9. I'm just gonna back you guys up. And for all intents and purposes, I really just need you. So all right, so 9. It looks safe. You poke around, things seem pretty solid in front of you.
All right.
You're still just we'll shift you over because you're kind of aiming for your point here. Okay.
So yeah, if everything seems safe, I'm just gonna proceed with caution. Let everyone know like we still have a bunch of danger ahead. And make sure there's no slack or anything, and I'm gonna start moving.
Okay. Anyone who's if you guys are kind of looking around, you can give me perception checks. If you're just kind of following, then
16?
16. Good.
12.
14.
I'm gonna make them for Arda too. Oh yeah. Arda's kind of still behind you again. He's kind of
Yes.
following
Yeah,
He's
I feel like
between-
we're breaking trail
Yeah,
for him.
He
so.
kind of like gets your attention and points to You kind of get the feeling it would be hard to track footprints up here because 1 minute is solid ice, then there's like a snowdrift. But he points to a snowdrift, and you see a bit of a faded out footprint. Looks roughly human shaped, but it's about. It'd be like a size 37 shoe.
Okay.
You know, it's
Size
big.
37.
So it's the,
Slightly smaller than what I
And
wear.
it looks like it was probably barefoot.
Okay.
so it's that giant spring that.
I would. And so it doesn't look like super recent, or it's hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Okay.
It's kind of in a snowdrift, so sometimes the wind has been
Yeah.
blowing.
So maybe I would like. He's only 5 feet ahead of me, right?
Yeah, he's
I would tap Hogak then and be like, whatever made that footprint, if it can walk across here, we probably can follow those footprints.
You don't see a lot of them. You
Well,
see like one
I'll
or
remind
two,
us
and
that
then
we
they
just
disappear.
found one also at the bottom of a crater.
And we don't,
Right,
and we
there
don't
was
know.
that.
Yeah, but he made it.
Yeah, this is the
Like,
guy who
this-
made it.
Yeah, but this guy.
Even he couldn't make that jump.
Right.
But we
Trying to
also
make
don't.
a jump and you don't know what's there.
Anyways, I pointed it out. I'm not
Sure.
leading anybody anywhere, so
Sure.
they've been pointed out.
Yeah.
And we also don't know if it's friendly.
And,
So
and you can give me another check as you're moving forward, or was that your check to move forward?
no.
Okay.
You said perception. That's all I was doing. But
Yeah, we might as well
you-
follow tracks. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
so
for the most
do
part.
we want you guys to have weapons out? Because we don't know whatever that is. It's
Well,
gonna
I
be
feel
friendly.
like if there's a giant, we would see it because it is just a plain
We
of
said
snow.
like bear
Give
tracks.
me
right?
give me a history check, Brego.
I mean, they're not.
14.
14. You think this looks about the right size for an ogre?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well then.
we've done that before.
Yeah.
We're good.
Ogres. Who gets you about ogres?
Well,
Yeah, we're good.
I don't necessarily want to fight him, but if we can see tracks, it's safe to walk where there's tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least where the track is.
Yeah.
But you see like a couple of tracks kind of on the side, and then they're gone. So it's not really enough for you to follow. You can tell that something kind of moved in this direction.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
I'm not the
here
tracker.
Probably at some point.
By this point, I'm the follower.
You would think probably at some point in the last 48 hours at least, but it's
Sounds-
hard to tell exactly because the
Just
wind kind of
snow
comes and
summers.
goes up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that it makes sense because we're gonna make better time probably if we follow some bit of a trail.
Yeah. So, change course and just try and follow the tracks the
And
best
it-
we can.
And if an ogre fell through, we'd probably still see the hole he left. So,
Right. Okay. Give me a check as you progress.
or he's like the skinniest ogre ever.
7.
7.
Yep.
Looks safe.
All right, we keep going. And
We
which
trust
way,
you for some strange reason.
And which way are those?
Oh, he's confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of pointed a little bit to the
not
right,
like
but
you're
again,
following
literally
him
you
and a
saw
seven
like
shows up
2
over
or
his
3
head.
footprints
Oh,
and then they're gone. Like, there's not enough here to be a trail.
He's Facebook
So I mean, something could
confident.
have gone in a straight line, or
Yeah, it
something
could
could
have.
have gone here and then turned back, or
It has like a mind of where the pitfalls are, and it's doing its own thing. I don't
You don't
know,
know.
but it could.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah.
You can still poke your stick as you walk.
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm doing. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm still going
Yeah.
to do
So
it.
go ahead, give me another one.
Roll for your Facebook argument. You roll a 2.
14.
You're very confident that everyone else is wrong.
Looks safe.
So I'm going to keep
Very
going in
confident
that
you don't
general
care.
direction, and they were what in that way they were going.
Sure, we'll say you're moving over this way a little bit.
All right, I'm keeping an eye on both points. Yet I'll do another roll. Ooh, 22.
22.
I told you it's nice sometimes.
And you cartwheel to the finish line.
Yeah.
It actually looks safe in front of you. Yeah, you poke around and it still looks pretty solid.
All right, we'll keep going then. 20.
20.
See, I just gotta make fun of you enough in your dice, and then eventually it'll start rolling good.
They take it personally.
Yeah.
You find another hidden gap in front of you.
Okay.
Mind the gap.
Kind of like right here
Okay.
as you poke around.
The ogres that way. Yeah, I'm gonna go more like this way now. Then I'm gonna check going along here.
Can you see any footprints anymore?
Just buried from the snow, so I'm just doing
You
like the
can't
best.
see it at all. Okay.
I'm just doing best guess. There was
Yeah.
body here and heading this way.
Passive perceptions are 15 for you
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
You're an 11, I know. So okay, and let me just look at.
That's not comfortable.
No, mine is only 13, Don. Just so.
Oh, you 13? Oh, because you guys leveled up and that like changed everything for you. All right, and he's
and shit.
It does get crazy when you get guys who are running passive perceptions of like 19.
Yeah.
Or you get higher levels and it's like, what's your passive? 22. Okay, so you see everything. Nothing hides from you anymore.
Yeah, even when you're asleep.
Right. You have true sight. You try to sleep and you still see into the ethereal plane all the time. You see
It's
spirits
terrifying.
Oh,
You can see through your eyelids even when your eyes are closed.
that actually sounds awful.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds
That's why he drinks.
that sounds
a bad
amazing,
trip.
actually. If you close your eyes, don't look. Okay.
Uh-oh. He's going to the tackle box.
Uh-oh. The box of many monsters.
So, as you are...
Tickle fits.
What are the rest of you doing while he's poking around? You guys are... You're kind of hanging tight. You're looking around.
well, if we're tracking an ogre that we assume was only a day or two,
You don't have enough to track the ogre. You saw if you
yeah, but
tracked
if we
it. You
know...
haven't seen, you know something's in the area.
Yeah, then I would be on a fairly high alert.
Yeah, I think I would also just be looking at footprints since we kind of saw them
Because
already.
he's looking for the holes in the ground. I'm looking for anything that might be trying to cross the.
I'll let you give me an active perception check then.
I'd probably say to Alda, I'd be like, "What do you see?" Since he's the one that pointed it out originally. Well, what are you seeing, man?
23.
23. You see ahead. You can kind of see the.
What kind of head?
Not the good kind. But maybe the okay kind on a beer. You can kind of see up ahead what looks like... Well, doesn't even look like. You can see what you presume is the edge of the ice field, and some low, not quite peaks, but you can see stone and solid ground kind of looming up ahead.
Okay.
And a little bit past what I've just drawn there, you see a thin plume of smoke coming up. Yeah, you see some sign that there's someone else up here who requires heat for something.
So, what time of day is it now? By the time we're getting there,
You guys are on by now. You're getting on towards late afternoon. Like it would be about 4 o'clock. You've got this time of year. You figure you've got maybe another 2 hours of daylight left.
okay.
You're pretty close to the other side at this point.
And is it snowing yet?
It is snowing. I actually meant to mention that a little while ago. It is clouded over again, and it is sort of lightly snowing, but steadily.
But still, it's bright enough still to see for.
Yeah.
Do you think we could get into a position where we could better see where the smoke is coming from, but not just right up on it? Like I want to head to where the solid ground is, but maybe kind of skirt the area to see if we can get a better vantage point.
Yeah, you could try to do that.
Yeah,
Move
you think
around
that'd be a
and
good
kinda-
idea, and then maybe see what's
kinda-
at the fire
kinda
or causing it.
Kind of get close. Where'd you go? There you are.
So the way we're going, you're thinking of like head to here to look
Maybe,
at that low point to see it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Would we tell Arda to stay back with the rust monster? Because the rust monster is probably not super stealthy.
Yeah. Well, we don't want him in fight anyway. He can kind of
Yeah.
stay wherever
Yeah,
we
that's
leave
fine.
him.
Just
Yeah.
have him wait.
No, we want Arda as backup.
Yeah. Yeah. If shit goes south, then you and the rust monster come in and save us. But other than
Right.
that,
Here's your daggers.
Right. I meant to ask you guys that too. What is Arda traveling with? Like, is somebody other than he's got clothes on, obviously, but have you guys given him anything?
I think
in terms
when
of-
we
gave him
bought winter
daggers.
gear, I think we got him something, didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Well,
And he has,
dagger,
and I
a
know
couple
he
of
has daggers.
Daggers, yeah.
I thought
Well, he
had a
came with
short bow.
daggers,
He
right?
had a couple daggers that
Yeah.
he fought with initially.
Did we not give him a short bow that we picked up off a dead person?
That's possible.
Maybe
Can't
I don't know.
remember that.
Either
I
way.
feel like we outfitted him because we were
Gave
taking
him
him.
some basics anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing fancy, but more than he's ever had.
I mean, I'd give him my bow, but he can't probably shoot a longbow.
It's longer than him.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
He's
Yeah.
standing in
I
the
did
boat.
give him
Push it.
3 juggling balls. He hasn't done shit with him so far, but
Yeah, useless. Well,
keeps
I'm sure
complaining about having cold hands. Like, practice, man. You got to practice.
the rust
keep your hands
monster will
moving.
just automatically know how to juggle too and be like, somebody's moving in on your future job.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a slave before you know it, Arda.
And that's how you lost your freedom, buddy.
Yeah. What do you want to see? A halfling who can juggle or a rust monster that can juggle?
That'd be pretty sweet,
Yeah.
actually.
Although, do I want people throwing coin at the rust
I
monster?
just no one gave me any money today.
Only ferrous metal. Gold is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get a silver
As long as it
silver
works.
chain for this thing, and you wouldn't eat through it.
So yeah, I would like to try to make our way to someplace. It's maybe a little bit of a better vantage point
Okay.
and solid ground.
As you are sort of working on skirting around to the kind of checking out the edge of this,
Also, I'd like to say, as soon as we know that we're fairly solid ground, or it's within feet of us,
It's-
untie
sure.
everybody.
yeah, you figure at this point you're about 100 feet from
Okay.
where you can see. Again, this isn't quite the
Yeah.
scale. It's just for purposes, because otherwise we'd be playing on the floor and we'd be in the living room by now. So I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Oh, not like that.
I'm sorry. I'll go to the back seat again.
There's suddenly a burst of movement from underneath a snowdrift, and Hogak, you
titties. Kill it.
you are plowed into, or you are charged at by this ogre.
It's a female.
Dressed. Did you just like upside down? And,
Yeah.
How else are you
what'd
gonna
you
know?
do with kittens? How else are you gonna find out? Actually, I am not prepared for combat. These things.
That's good. Neither are we.
Yeah, neither are we.
Right.
So we're not even to a safe area yet, man. I want to check something.
But it.
That's a good idea. Follow
You did
footprints.
not detect this thing hiding here. There's a new bad. So it's going to get a surprise round on you.
Yep. When I go
And
down.
let's. 21. Does that hit you? Is that a redundant question?
How close is it to me?
How far are you back from him?
Well, we were basically 5, 10, 15, right?
Am I within 30 feet of it?
You would be within 30 feet of it.
Does a surprise round count as an end of its round?
Give me the description of what.
It says,
you're
in
gonna do.
addition, when a creature you see ends its turn within 30 feet of you. Would that be its first turn, or a surprise round you counting as separate than its actual initiative turn?
What does the ability do? Give me.
I get to use a reaction.
Oh, okay.
I get to use the reaction to cast a wisdom save on it.
Yeah, I would let you do that at the end of its turn.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
I mean, by that point, it's burst out and done stuff. So, all right. So Hogak, you are going to get smacked like a bitch for.
You know how to talk to him. 8 plus your
15.
proficiency plus your con.
Jesus.
Yeah.
8 plus 10.
And I will have. I'll have you guys roll initiative for me, and then Ulfar, you can do whatever you want to do.
13?
13. That puts you. Actually, that puts you right just ahead of it.
15.
17.
Look at you guys go. And are you giving direction to Ardar? Like, are you telling him to kind of? Now, you guys are all tied together still at this point too. So.
Oh, I'm going to.
Oh, we this happened before we got untied.
Yeah, like this is again. You guys are.
Yeah,
He's still poking around the side of this icy pit. So you guys are not on. Like, you can see solid ground like 100 feet away, but you're not there yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at our. So sorry, whose turn is it? My turn. I don't want to go on my reaction and do anything besides my reaction. So
Yeah, no, it's still its turn. I just wanted you guys to roll. So if you want to do a reaction,
Okay.
as you watch this
Then,
thing kind of like lay
yeah, I'm
into
going to use
Hogak.
my stone rune and make it roll a wisdom save. So DC 13 wisdom save.
It's awesome at wisdom saves.
That's my real hope.
Ha! 5.
All right. So unless this succeeds, the creature is charmed by you for 1 minute. While charmed in this way, the creature has a speed of 0 and is incapacitated, descending into a dreamy stupor. The creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on a success. Once invoked, this rune Can I do it? Okay, so I got a short rest before I can do it again. So it is now unconscious, or it is technically incapacitated, and 0 movement speed.
Right.
Give me the choice. So, because I'm the new guy here, I got hit for the 15. Do I have to do anything else, or do I just take that right off the health?
Yeah. Just take it right off your health. Yeah. So you're just. What is your overall health?
24 with the 3 and the 15. I'm down to 6.
Okay. Well, then don't get hit again.
Yep, that's why I was asking. Is there something I can do to save? No.
Right.
So now.
Okay, so it is Hogak's turn then.
Okay.
Sorry. Did you?
I was just gonna now that it's asleep, we should untie ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to use that as our action, and then it'll get to do its save, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, especially since I would assume those of you in the middle, it's 50 feet of rope. So unless you went and cut it up into a bunch of little segments, then literally you've got the rope tied around you, then it goes and lines around.
Would
you?
you?
But not, then
So
lines
that's
around.
going to be a whole action. Could I not use a bonus to cut it?
I would choose a bonus action to cut the rope.
Okay. Then I'll do that on my turn.
Okay.
But it's not my turn.
So Hogak, you just got spanked by this thing.
Sorry. Dirty thoughts.
Meh.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point, I've been smacked into near a coma there. I'm going to be...
Give me a dex save.
13.
13. As this thing kind of blindsides you,
Yeah.
you fall into the pit.
I'm...
Good thing you're still tied up.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Fall damage?
what's that?
No, you're only 5 feet down. You don't fall to the bottom, I assume.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah.
Give me a strength save.
Oh,
I'll
strength
take an athletics check.
Okay.
Whichever one's higher for you.
Well, probably not strength.
Well, it's a strength check either way. It's just I don't know if you get any.
Yeah.
I guess
I
athletics
have
you get
bonuses
up.
on all my saves now,
Yeah.
so. 19.
You manage to grab on. You see this as it happens. You're kind of taken by surprise, but you manage to plant your feet and kind of grab it. What is your strength score? I think you're
Plus
2
2.
strength. You're
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So you've got Hogak kind of dangling there. So you are at the end of your rope as
Literally as it gets.
yeah. You're well, say what 3-5 feet. You're about 5 feet down into the hole at this point.
Can I reach the backside of the hole, or is it out of my reach?
And you take 2 points of damage as the rope catches and snags you. Sorry, what was your question?
For the hole I'm in, can I reach
That's
the
hanging
backside
from
of
a
it here
picture
behind
on
me,
the
or is
wall.
that too far?
Yeah, it's too big for you to really grab on. You could grab the rope and climb out, or if you've got something close to you, you might be able to dig something into the ice and try to pull yourself up. But the rope is probably the best bet. It seems
Yeah,
to be
that's-
holding pretty stable.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab onto the rope and pull myself up,
Okay.
and
So that'll use, say, 10 feet of your movement to get you back up.
yeah.
And that'll bring you up prone.
Mhm.
So then you'll use another.
I'm.
So basically, you've got about 5 feet of movement left to you by the time you stand up. I'm assuming you're standing up and not just laying on the ground.
No, I'm gonna be standing. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
But as you
Keep
get
the
there,
rope on.
you look at this thing and it's suddenly just kind of standing there
Hey, Ulfar.
zoned out.
Maybe we keep the rope on.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that. Yeah.
Sorry?
Maybe we keep the rope on.
yeah.
Worst thing it's going to do is snap the rope on us, and that way it saves us an action anyway. All right.
So it's asleep. Is it worth me taking a shot at it now, or?
Do you have an action left to do that with?
Yeah, you've got an action.
Will it wake it up? How does your spell?
It
Yeah.
should
It
at
just
the
gets-
end of its turn.
Oh,
It
Yeah,
gets
it
to.
doesn't repeat the save on damage or
Shoot
anything
it in
like
the
that.
face, man.
Yep.
I just looked at it.
Yeah, the creature
before that.
repeats a saving throw at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect. Yeah, so on its turn it automatically. So you might as well just unload on this right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm aiming for the head. I want to eye blind. I'm pissed. I'm nearly concussed. I'm
Yeah.
slightly horny from being slapped. I'm everything right now.
Give me an attack roll. And tell me what you're attacking it with.
Bow, because I don't want to get up close because I can't be hit again.
You are close.
Yeah, you can't get far
you,
away.
You have you
do
have
whatever does the most damage.
You have very little movement at this point, so like you can move 5 feet away.
Also,
out,
if it's incapacitated, does he get advantage?
It doesn't get actions or reactions. That is incapacitated.
Okay.
You can knock it prone, and then you get advantage.
Good luck trying to knock. Well, I don't know. How does a strength save go against something that's incapacitated? Can it even resist it? Because that's going to be the question on my turn.
A saving throw is not a reaction, so presumably, even though it's charmed, it still has some part of it that's like standing up is good.
Because I just want to know, because like for that too, but also because my next thing he's going to need to do a strength save. So
yeah, so incapacitated literally is an incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions.
Okay, so might as well just unload whatever you can do to do damage on it right now.
All right, then I'll use my rapier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because it's rapier. Mm-hmm. Sure. Give me an attack roll.
16.
Yeah.
D8, 6, and then I got my sneak attack.
You do not get sneak attack.
It's
incapacitated, so yeah, you'd have advantage. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Don't take this from me. 12.
Speaking of which, you do have advantage on the attack roll, so you can roll your d20 twice if you want and take the higher one.
No, I'll stick with the 16, please.
Sure, good. So would you roll 12 total?
Yep.
Okay, and that's with your bonuses in there?
No, because I'm not good with that stuff.
There's math, right? Like you add the dice and then you add the number on your sheet.
Yeah, so that's 5, 11, 17 now. Am I doing that right?
What did you roll?
17 seems high.
So
That
I got
seems really high.
So
6.
all right.
I'm Ricky.
So you get a 6 and a 6, so that's 12.
Yeah.
And then you're adding basically your dex modifier. So over here you've got your attack roll, but then you get your damage. So your damage is 1d8 plus 3.
So 15.
It's
15.
So I was close. Off by
You were,
At least you're off in the right
It's
direction.
kind of fair, Don. He doesn't use it most of the time, so he should get an extra 2 when he does it.
It's still super sharp.
Let's just hope it just continually fails its wisdom saves.
All right, Brego. Conveniently being tied directly.
Holy shit, 26 to hit?
26 will hit. What is that, one up? What'd you roll, a 19?
20?
Oh, that's a crit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell me 26 total
Okay,
it's a crit.
it's a crit.
So double
It's
the
like my
damage
third
dice.
20 in a row.
Yeah.
So that's 6.
Roll it again. You do damage dice.
And then, so it's plus 4, so 10, so 16 in total? I get both?
No, you don't add your modifier both times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just the dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So-
a 6 and a 2, so that's 8 plus what's your damage modifier?
4.
4.
So 12. That's a crossbow
That's
bolt.
pretty solid.
Okay.
So you said we do get advantage.
I don't know if I've ever crit before on a hit, to be honest.
No?
I don't think it's come up.
Yeah.
It's super sweet if you're a rogue. Or paladins when they smite, because you double all of your damage dice.
Oh, wow.
So Zebashu has a video where he talks about the help action, which no one ever does, because everyone's just like, oh, well, I'm going to sneak behind it and hope that I get flanking. But helping gives somebody advantage. So he basically has this scene where this like fairly high level paladin is attacking this warlock sorcerer, I guess, and he's got his little pig familiar buddy guy who also is like a level 3 Valor Bard or something. So he crits and he stacks like 2 or 3 smite abilities on top of them. He's great weapon master, which you declare before you roll, but
It doubles it all.
but yeah, basically it's like 160 damage in a single shot or something. It's like 8d, it's like 8d8 for this plus 8d6 for this plus an extra blah blah blah. And it does all the math, and it's obscene.
Where's Arda in initiative?
Sorry,
Where's Arda in initiative?
I didn't roll Arda because you guys are based. Well,
Oh, okay.
that's what I asked if he was
Yeah,
kind
I
of doing
told him
something.
to hide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's kind of trying to stay out of the way.
Okay.
All right, so Ulfar.
All right, I'm gonna come in flying, and as I swing my first sword, I'm going to ignite it on fire, which I can do now, just
now.
like my miniature shows.
After
You said I
long
get
last.
advantage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's incapacitated, so he doesn't say you get advantage.
Good lord.
Realistically, if something's standing there in a dreamy state, it's
Does a
not.
15 hit?
15 will hit.
Oh, good. All right, then I'm going to hit it with a 15, and then I'm going to use my fiery, shackles of fire on it as well.
Okay.
So that's firstly it's one.
So roll your axe first, or whatever you're attacking.
This is with my longsword.
Okay.
So for 8 damage with that.
Okay.
With my longsword, and then roll a DC 13 strength check.
Well, I think you. Hang on 1 second. So you did 8 with that.
Do you want me to do my offhand too, just to see if it hits before we do the fire damage?
Let's do the damage on here first. So
Okay.
that's your sword, and then the fire rune
Does 2d6 if it
Right.
fails.
Well, it's 2d6, and it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained. So
Oh,
whether,
okay.
whether it succeeds, yeah. So you roll the 2d6.
10.
Nice. Okay.
I want some like sweet Ghost Rider shit where like the shackles are like these fiery chains that come out of the ground and restrain it.
That's
Like
a
that looks pretty sweet.
3. I don't think it's it's got a +4 to strength, but it looks pretty shackled.
All right, and then I'm gonna come up.
Does it look like pretty impressive? Because we haven't seen anything like that, right?
Yeah, like you
Like
would
this.
see, you
This
see,
is
like, these fiery
this is why
bonds.
Brego's here, is to see some shit. So
You see these fiery bonds kind of appear around its arms, and it looks, well, what is it? It's restrained, right?
Yeah.
So
It's restrained with fiery shackles that shoot out of the ground.
awesome.
and now it technically does have this advantage on being attacked. So
Brego's
Now I'm
taking
going to
notes.
come up. Good thing I waited for my offhand attack, because I'm going to come up with my new battle axe that I can now wield. And that is a 17 with my offhand.
okay. Did you buy a battle axe?
I had one all along.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my second martial weapon thing.
Okay.
And that is a 3 and that's a D8, right? Yeah. So that's another 7 damage. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
This guy's
then-
like shackled up, right?
So he's
And then on the beginning of its turn,
he's
it
incapacitated and restrained
takes and restrained
and taking fire damage.
Roll 2d6 for me again. At the start.
Not
of
as good. 4.
4. Okay. And it will make a wisdom save. Ooh, what's your wisdom? What's your
13.
DC in that? 13. It kind of snaps out of that, but I mean that's at the end of its turn, so it doesn't get another saving throw on the strength because it's the end of its turn. But it is no longer incapacitated, but it is restrained, so its speed is 0. Attack rolls against it have advantage. It's attacking at disadvantage, and it has disadvantage on dex saves. So
How long does that last? The disadvantage.
It lasts for 1 minute or until it breaks out,
yeah.
which it'll probably break out before
Hogak.
1 minute goes by.
One
at
minute
this
is a
point.
long time though. It's a lot of rounds.
10 rounds, but I mean it'll probably pass a 13 strength check.
If it lives long enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and attack it again with the rapier.
Oh, never mind.
What?
No, go ahead. I was gonna go full retard.
You
Roll
have
my
an
action
advantage on the
searches
attack,
too.
so you can roll twice.
Okay.
It's restrained.
There's a
so-
fire up here with 3 more of these.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, okay, first time trying out my new runes.
It's another 16.
That'll hit.
Okay.
Yep. I knew your sneak attack because you're attacking with advantage.
That's 4. 8. And then I add the
+3.
+3. 11.
11.
Thank you. Hi, I'm the new player.
I have taught people who are incredibly dense who can't do single-digit mathematical addition. I've taught those people to play D&D. Okay, you're good. It's just
Yeah.
kind of
If in 6 months from now you still don't know how to attack, you still won't be the worst D&D player I've played with. So don't worry about it.
now you're making this a challenge for me.
Now I also played with a DM who I would say was a reasonably intelligent individual, but it took us 4 months to get him to understand that in 5th edition anyone can take the dodge action or the help action or the dash action. It took a while to get through, but all right. And any bonus actions on your turn?
I'm near death, so I'm gonna disengage and
You don't
move.
need to well, you actually
If it
kinda
does.
talk to you can
yeah,
disengage.
I want to disengage and
Kick
move.
it in the moose knuckle.
I'm going to move the farthest I can, which is 5 feet away. Yeah.
Oh no, you get full movement now. So you
No,
you,
he's
But
actually got
we're
10
so
feet.
in a row.
because you're tied
We're all
together.
chained together.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you could move back. I mean, let's consider not the terrain, but
Well, I
if we consider, so if we say that you were here and Brego was here, yeah, you could move back
Yeah,
about
so I
10
would've been
feet.
here.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to move back to there then.
And Arda's kind of like
Yeah, because
hanging
basically
out.
you can go 10 feet in any direction around Brego.
Yeah.
Arda wasn't tied on. He was just there.
Yeah, he was never tied.
was
on.
never-
He just
yeah.
followed behind us.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he's light enough.
Okay.
I assume he wouldn't go through.
We kind of kept him between us, but he was never tied
Gust
on.
of wind comes up, and you hear this sound on the wind, and then you realize it was Arda. All right, Brego.
What's in its body?
Taking a.
Just a regular shot, and that's going to miss because it's
You have
8.
advantage on it.
Nope.
Well, he's bound.
14.
14's a hit.
Yay.
Good thing we get the naked frost troll.
Yeah.
It's an ogre. He's actually got a +1 to his regular armor class because of all
9.
the heavy furs and stuff he's wearing, but it's still a 12. So.
Yeah.
9.
9?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
Frost ogre.
you said he's up now.
No, he never was knocked. He was restrained. He
He was
wasn't prone.
restrained.
Is he still restrained?
Yes.
He's,
Yeah.
he's restrained, but he's not.
As long as
prone.
he's restrained, there's not like all the shit that I can do magically is pointless.
So would you say you rolled 11?
No, 9.
9,
Nine.
okay.
Yeah, is kind of pointless because I give him disadvantage on hits and things like
Yeah,
that.
he's
but
got. He can't do any of that.
That's
anyway,
right.
yeah,
So, there's no
but
point.
it's
doing
good to
Ulfar.
save some of it. All right, I'm gonna come in with another set of attacks on him. So main hand is gonna be a 20 something, so that'll hit.
That'll hit.
Do you want me to roll my the D6 fire damage will just be on his turn from now on, right?
Yeah, because you're summoning shackles. You're not actually doing
Yeah.
fire damage with the sword anymore. You're just patting. Yeah.
So that's 9 damage with my main hand,
Okay.
and a 19, so 25 with my offhand, and that's another. So that's 18 damage with both.
It's as it's kind of straining against these bonds, kind of goes from this kind of dazed and confused state to looking down, and it's not happy. It's kind of growling, it's burning at its arms, basically, where you've restrained it with these shackles, and as it's kind of beginning to strain against those, you guys, it falls down dead.
Ha ha!
Thank God.
Victory!
Oh man, I really wanted to use vicious mockery on it.
So there's a
It's just my favorite, just
what's
for
the
color.
name of it?
It's just you get the spout off at
This
it.
should just be forever known as the Frost Honey Boo Boo.
Yes.
Honey Boo Boo Chow.
All for One or something. Deer Hunter Studios, I think is the name of the YouTube channel, but they do a bunch of like live action skit D&D kind of things, and I watched one the other day where they literally like the vicious they come across like this single guard who's got like full plate, so nobody can hit him because his armor class is ridiculously high. So it's like, oh, I can't burn him because he's up on my spell slot, so I can't hit him because he's too well armored. And the bard's like, I shall hurt him with words, and they literally just vicious mockery him to death.
All right, so I need a short rest to get those back, but I'm still in the fight with everything else.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't.
I still got my
So,
warrior abilities.
It falls dead, and tell me what y'all would be doing.
Well, Brego is like, I'm gonna be like, okay, hold on, don't get on top of her yet.
Hogak?
Hogak.
Oh,
so-
yeah, no,
what did I say?
Brego is not
Hogar?
interested. Yeah.
Oh.
Hogak. No, you said me. No.
Oh
no.
yeah, I'll be like, all right, Hogak, go look for things on it.
As you're holding the rope, like, no, not that far. Stop it.
I've been to some small towns where the farmer's daughters weren't up to spec, but they were better than that.
Understand.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I grew up where you grew up.
Can I roll a survival check to see if there's anything useful that I would have heard of from a frost ogre?
It's wearing some. Well, it's not even. It's just basically a regular ogre. It's just dressed for these climates. So it looks like it's wrapped in a couple of pretty heavy pelts. At least some of which look like they probably came from either a polar bear or a winter wolf or something. Like they're white. It's kind of how it's managed to
No.
Blend in.
You figure it was a reasonably intelligent ogre that you're not sure how often it would be able to ambush something up here, but it knew enough to blend in with its surroundings and kind of hide itself under the snow in thick furs.
Are they at least tanned? Or are they literally just like dead?
They're pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much like it's peeled the skin off of something. Scraped the meat off, but yeah, they're not treated hides at all.
Thank God it's cold.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except it's warm. So I feel like maybe not so interested.
No.
I'd rather just find a polar bear and kill it one day.
It was hiding in a hole, though. Would there be anything in there?
It was kind of just hiding under a big snowdrift.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Ogre poop.
Now that's
look for any money
Does it
purchase.
have anything metal on it at all?
Probably not.
Not
No.
really. I would say
That's how we could feed the rust.
couple of probably stone or antler or bone tipped javelins, and a great club.
Okay.
Yeah, you can if you want to search them.
Yeah, I'm definitely searching it and where it was sleeping there in case anything fell off.
Gross.
Yeah, disgusting. You're
Brego,
disgusting character.
You would know from stories that typically
That's been well
giants,
established.
ogres, etc. Sometimes they wander, but sometimes it might have a lair nearby that may or may not have anything worthwhile.
Well, I think I already mentioned that to Ulfar. I was like, yeah, easy. There's a fire up there. There's a good chance there's more than one of these.
Right.
Let me just use my cool abilities.
I can't get it again.
No.
I only need a short rest to get it back anyway, so.
So you will find 15 silver.
Loving it.
Also, my abilities are less of a concern than him being crushed. Because he's got like 4 health. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's beat the shit
Thank
out of
God we stocked up on health potions before we came
Yeah.
out.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got dedicated healers in the group, though.
him. Yeah. Yeah, all.
These are other things that aren't true at all.
Which would you prefer to heal you? Vicious mockery or hideous laughter?
I could use a good laugh right now.
Do
Use a
I
good
know
laugh.
if ogres? Would I know if ogres have like dark vision or known to like be dark, like nocturnal?
You'd probably hear stories about them wandering around in the dark, at least. So you would know that they're kind of. I would say they probably have a general tendency towards being nocturnal, especially in more civilized areas. Like you probably would have heard stories about them like sneaking up on lone farms after dark and doing bad things.
Yeah. I think we should get eyes on this campfire, make sure there's nothing else going on, and then we should tend to our wounded shaman rogue thingy, whatever he is now. Druid rogue.
Arcane trickster animal fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, did I say that last bit?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That was just, we always assumed that, even before you took the
And
class.
this is our
Yeah.
new friend,
Huh?
Richard Gere's hamster.
Gross.
Right.
All right.
Hopefully he can see in the dark.
Well, while he's doing that, are we still making our way to here now?
Yeah, we might as well try to get that. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We should still get that vantage
Keep on
point.
shrugging along.
You skirt your way along the edge, and give me another investigation check.
Oh, not 20.
Yeah, you work your way around the edge, and you manage. It doesn't take you long before you find a pretty solid surface again, and a couple minutes later, of slow going, but
Yeah.
you find yourself at the edge of the ice field again.
Okay.
You can see. I mean, you're still basically on ice, but you can tell now there's like solid stone running underneath things.
It's just ice buildup, but there's rock. We're not going to fall.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of look back and you can almost see these distinctive lines of the glacier and the solid ground underneath you.
All right, so we're good to untie then? Or do we want to stay tied?
Yeah, once we're solid ground, let's untie. Yeah.
You don't want to be tethered to me.
No. If
was like
literally
that-
it was
terrible. 1 second that we could have lost you if we'd untied 1 second
Yeah,
sooner.
yeah.
One turn, one action sooner,
Yeah.
and he's dead.
The tension of walking across a glacier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't die, don't die, don't die.
I've known guys who've done it, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of fun you can have up there, but it's like the most dangerous thing. Skydiving, you know what you're getting into. Skydiving, you know all this shit that can happen, but you don't see the little. You know, you're walking along and you see just a little bit of snow, and what you don't realize is that snow has insulated that space just enough. That you've got ice that's like this thick underneath it.
I feel like there's easier ways to have a weekend.
Yeah, helicopter. Just fly across it. Yeah. That's why I believe we should melt those fuckers as soon as possible. They're nothing but death traps. I don't know why people are trying to save them.
Well, I know these people who are complaining there's a shortage of fresh water in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's literally the fresh water is up there killing us all for no particular reason.
The water is rising. Who doesn't like fucking boats?
Yeah. Yeah, really. I don't know. You bitch and moan that we're killing the ocean, but we're trying to fill it up, and everyone's bitching and moaning about that too. So, I don't know. People are just crazy.
If you do, and you're fucked if you do.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we talked about it. I'll
Yeah.
disperse the silver out to the three of us.
We got silver from it? I missed that whole thing.
No, you said I got a 15,
like 15
silver.
silver.
Oh.
Are you
yeah.
sharing?
Well, I guess for looting. If it's stuff where you guys are there, I'll share. But if not,
All right.
well, fuck you guys. You each get
I'm
stuff.
Rogues. Our experience, my loot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 5 silver.
Okay.
But no, yeah. If
5
you
silver pieces.
if you guys weren't there to look, I would have kept it though.
Well, I just was just asking because it seemed curious.
Yeah. It's,
Now you are intent
More I
on
have
kind
to.
of like sneaking around, or so you are now. You guys are now about 5 o'clock. You've got about it's the early part of dusk. You figure you've got about an hour. In an hour, it's going to be kind of gloomy, like dim light everywhere, and probably within an hour after that, it's going to be dark.
Well, that's my concern is that there's something there and really close to us, and we're going to find out in the middle of the night when it comes looking for its girlfriend.
And I'm whispering in the rear going, there's a fire already there. It's worth a shot that...
The smoke from where you are now looks like it's probably about a half a kilometer away.
Oh,
So
okay.
It's
All
not. Yeah. So like, I mean,
Is
this
that far? That's not far.
That's not far.
No, but I thought it was like literally within like
right
100
there.
feet of us.
No, it's not quite that close.
Oh, okay,
But
yeah.
like you would see it against a fairly bleak, stark sky. You don't see it quite as well now because it's snowing a little bit heavier, but you can still kind of make out a little bit of it. Cause
Why don't we short rest? He can take his hit dice, and then I can get my abilities back, and then we can go.
Okay.
I was
that
also going
make-
to say, what's the snow cover like now? You said it was going to be getting worse.
Yeah, it's starting to build up.
That might actually be in our benefit.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to make us a bit stealthier to get up close.
Yeah.
And,
And give some time to put a layer of snow over our tracks that we just made.
It's going to make it
And
harder for
trying
us to track you at the same time.
Yeah.
It's going to make it harder for you to figure out what's up ahead because you can't just you're less likely to stumble across fresh tracks in the snow.
Yeah, but
And
I
that's
mean,
yeah.
but that'll give us a short
Advantage.
rest. You can use your hit dice and get some life back at least.
well, I'm comfortable at 4.
I mean, if you want to play a new character,
We,
by all means.
we literally have no way to revive you whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have nothing.
So you know how to use your hit dice to get life back.
Nope.
Okay, so you got
give me the
we're
new
level
dice.
3, so you have what's your hit dice?
You have 3d8.
Yeah.
So yeah, so roll 3d8, and that's how much life you
So
can get.
well,
back.
no, you can roll up to half your hit dice.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So right now, so you can roll 1.
Okay.
One and a half.
Actually, let me check that. It's been a while since I've done a.
So do I roll a
video
4
for
then?
this.
What's that?
Is that D8 and a D4?
No. You roll like instead of
No,
rolling
you
your
said-
3d8s, you just roll 1d8.
Yeah. Well, you said 1.5, so a D4.
Don's a way harder DM than me, so yeah, he's cruel.
It's just been a while since I've had to deal with
No, it's going to go ahead. 3.
Okay, so you get 3 health points back.
7.
Would it be half rounded up or rounded down? That's the real question.
Probably round down. It's always in your
There we
detriment.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so no, sorry, yeah, you can spend as many hit dice as you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so if
roll,
you want-
roll all
you
3
roll
then.
three.
You get half up to half back on a long rest.
Yeah.
You get you get
Up
your
to half of your hit dice back.
yeah. So roll all 3 because you need it.
8.
And then add your constitution modifier to each dice. So if you roll a 4 and you got a +2 to your constitution, then you get 6 hit points.
Yeah.
Also, do you have a thing that adds to that too, don't you? As a bard?
Oh yeah, we have. I have a
So what
thing
did you
when we
roll?
rest. That's right.
Constitution,
Yes.
so I had
That's
4,
right.
8, 6. So that's going to be 10, 12, 20 then.
Song of Rest.
20
So
plus 3, so 23 total.
Yeah.
up
So-
to the maximum. So that is your maximum
So,
health. Yeah.
Hogak, you would also get an extra D6 from him.
Okay.
So if you want, you could have saved one of those hit dice. Really.
Hey, little
Yeah.
guy.
I'm also going to use one hit dice
How
just
are you?
to get my 3 health back.
So if I'm using my Song of Rest anyway, then you get that D6 also. So it doesn't matter. I'm using it anyway on a.
Oh, so I get
you
to roll
an extra
a D6?
D6 also on top
Well,
of it.
if you roll to get hit dice back. So if you,
Okay,
if
so
you-
I'm just going to use one hit dice then.
Sure.
So I also have 2. I don't need it. I only had 3 health missing anyway, so it's fine.
So you're already.
Yeah,
full.
yeah. Then
Anytime
when I-
anybody rolls a hit dice, they get an extra D6 if I'm with them.
Okay, cool. That's actually really handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're full health now.
Yeah.
So you're good. You healed like Wolverine over there. 1 hour, it's just like your wounds stitched themselves shut.
Yeah.
Right.
It becomes more difficult when you have more than 25 health.
Yeah.
Hey,
Just keep rolling bad for health then.
how come you're the quiet one?
Sometimes.
Because he's in the mood to be the
So
quiet
I
one.
get both my runes back, and I totally forgot that I also have Giant Smite as well, so I can turn the same size as an ogre if I want, and then arm wrestle.
You can do that already? That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, at level 3 I got literally like half a class worth of abilities here. So yeah, I can go into a large creature. I get advantage on all my strength checks, and also I get an extra D6 damage.
There you go.
when I
When
hit.
I said if we had a furball, you could throw him across the chasm, you could have thrown
I
him
could have
across
literally
the
turned into
chasm.
I could have turned into a giant, got advantage,
Right.
and then just like hurdled all of us across.
Well, and your lift drag carry scores would have doubled.
Yeah.
And you would have had advantage on the check. So
Yeah.
at
But
that
it's
point,
okay.
yeah, you could give Art a rope and.
But I
basically
only
throw
get to do it as a bonus action. That's
a number
pretty
of times
dead.
equal to your
Yeah.
proficiency bonus.
So I get to do it twice
See-
every.
So you
Long
can't do
rest.
it just you can't just do it whenever.
No, I get to do it as a bonus action twice per long
Okay,
rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Until unless my proficiency goes up, then I'll be able to do it 3 times, which is next level, I believe.
Cool.
Yes.
So I'm going to pull the arms off of the next ogre we see and beat them to death with it.
Or try.
The next ogre you meet is like the god of ogres.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I don't actually know who the god of ogres is. I'm not even sure if they have a god.
You have to be.
They will when
you
they
have to
meet
be
me.
smart enough to worship
If
something.
you play
Right.
Skyrim,
To have a
there's couple
god.
ogres.
Yeah.
Ogres, at least in most D&D sort of mythos, are at least intelligent enough to generally recognize the ordning, which is the. We're not in a typical D&D setting, but in a typical D&D setting, there's kind of this
Yeah, they're like the bottom
ordering
of the
of
giants.
giants. You
Yeah.
kind of got like storm giants down to hill giants, but then there's giantkin like Furbolg and Verbeeg and Ettins, and then there's things that are they're not technically giants, but they're kind of like ogres and things like that fit in there as well. So an ogre typically will not bother with a giant because it's just higher in status. than it is. Usually. But
Is that Darwin's theory of D&D? It's bigger than me, so I don't pick a fight with it.
Yeah.
I think that's Gygax's theory of let's take some
Giant
structure to
evolution.
these random giant races.
All right,
so you guys you take a short rest on the edge of the ice field, and it is gloaming. Like it is dim light. It's snowing pretty hard by now.
Bless
Your
you.
visibility is significantly reduced. So you've got probably about 50 feet of visibility at this point between the dim light and the heavy snow falling.
There's one thing won't make a difference.
Sorry, baby smiling. I'm distracted.
Right.
I'm listening.
So you guys tell me what you want to do as you approach this.
Do you want to go scout this campfire out, this area, and see what's up there?
Yeah, may as well.
You're the skulkiest of us, right? Skankiest, I mean. I don't know, skulkiest. That was right
It is
the
what
first
you
time.
mean,
He can be
No,
two
you,
things.
you're right on both.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive at all.
Right.
I'm willing to be as many things as possible.
I got our halfling with us now.
Yes.
He probably would kill someone if he gave him 2 sharp knives.
he's
that's
just
for
a he's just a shade undersized for it, but not significantly.
His feet aren't super hairy.
Not
Give me
yet.
time.
Not
I
yet.
was gonna say he'll grow into it. All right. Well, Hogak, if you are sneaking, tell me what you want to do as you are going up to scout this out.
I don't know the. Or is it a short rest? I get the.
Yeah, you get your wild shape back now.
All right, and then we're about half a kilometer away.
Yeah, you're about 500 meters, so it would take you it'd take you a couple minutes to get there, but not very long.
Oh, do we want to be that far away from him?
No, we're gonna go with them,
Let's
but
get-
like the
let's
last
get
like,
closer
couple
than
hundred
that,
feet,
yeah.
we'll
Sure.
Yeah.
we'll let him go ahead.
And by this point, you can no longer see the smoke at this point. You kind of know roughly where it was coming from, but it's between the dim light and the snow.
We're just going
You can't see far enough to see the smoke.
All right. So we're down here then. We're heading
Yeah,
that
so
way.
we're all kind of approaching you, obviously in the lead,
Yep.
and
these two just kind of back there
Alda,
again.
Alda and his pet can be like kind of way back because the pet, I don't even know how much noise a rust monster makes. It's probably not great.
And it hasn't stopped talking since we left.
All right, so yeah, we've moved up close, so I'm gonna break the lead and go ahead, and
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get you within about half an hour.
You travel up a little ways. Like
Yeah.
say it was a 5 minute. Well, say it would be like a 6 minute walk in the terrain you're in to get to go in a straight line to where it is. You figure maybe like a 2 minute walk away now.
All right, so yeah, I'll go up as far as like what I'm thinking is like 100 yards away, and then I'll wild shape into a squirrel mouse. Something blends in with that. I looked at the names and I can't remember it, but
White mouse.
yeah, white mouse.
Little vole or something like
Yeah.
that. Something furry that you think would survive up here.
Something that would survive and give a chance to blend in, and then I'll just
Snowshoe hair.
Sure.
There you go.
I'll wall shape into that and just go up as close as I can to the rough area that we saw then.
You find
Just a question, a little bit out of game.
Sure.
Do we, now that we know he can change shape suddenly, do we have any way to communicate with him when he's in that shape? No?
let me look at something quickly.
That's a good question. I don't think you can.
Like, we
'Cause
all
he
took
can't
that pretty coolly when he just turned into a animal, like out of nowhere.
Right.
I'm sure he told us at some point.
And then you're like flaming magic like this.
I'm going
this
Ghost
is
Rider
all
on
fucking
people.
new. I'm still just.
been judged.
I can play the lute and talk shit.
Pulls the
That's all
ogre
I
down to
got.
hell.
Yeah.
I can play the lute and talk shit. That's what I do. I'm just a little better at it this week than I was last week.
So I would argue you can speak to him. He can't speak back. He might be able to make actions.
So he can understand me, but I can't understand him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't cast spells. Your ability to speak or take any action that requires hands is limited to the capabilities of your beast form. But it doesn't.
But you can switch back at will too, right?
Yeah, and he retains his intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So his physical scores have changed, but his kind of intelligence,
Mental faculties.
are the same. So,
It's
but
just
but
leaving
if the
abilities.
form can't speak, then he can't speak.
Okay. Unless somebody had to speak to animals.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'm working my way up to the camp.
Right. So you make your way up, and I'm not going to put all of it out. Much fun as that would be. You find. Let's put a bit of it out though. You find a fairly sheltered little area with
That's a deer hunting tent. That is.
some very a few small like evergreen shrubs. Nothing big, but little things that are maybe about 8 feet tall, kind of
Comes,
growing
north face?
in a small clump.
Those good tents.
And
Nobody's shooting at that one.
yeah, I mean, you thought it was bad going across the
We're
traveling across
filming
the ice field, but now shit's getting intense.
Yeah, we're filming a documentary up here about the fjords.
And you see a group of basically people.
Fuck yeah, that's what I like.
Hanging out, and they don't look Like they're not dressed for any. Obviously, they're dressed for the weather.
Yeah.
But they don't look like they're a war party or anything like that. They don't necessarily look like they're specifically hunters or anything. They're just kind of. It's a group of 6 people, mix of men and women who are. They look like they're trying to stay warm around the fire while they're sharing stories and talking and whatnot.
We don't know this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I already have my plan.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
We're gonna light them on fire. No, just joking.
Right, so I have half an hour to.
It depends on what Hogak does.
Yeah.
It depends on what the plan is.
The plan was to go look and come straight back. That's always the plan with Hogak. Just go look, find out, come right back.
Don't do anything. That's not fun.
Right.
He's not your Hogak. You don't need to listen to him.
I know.
You always need to listen to me.
How-
I own you.
No, I don't.
How cool is this? The axe comes out of the stump.
That's cool.
I always have a hard time with that, actually. I can get it stuck in
I'm
there.
not sure if that's in you. I know.
Yeah, I don't. Like, I
There's
mean, it
plenty-
sounds
there's-
like it, but it's
There's
so
plenty-
weird.
There's plenty of innuendo. in
Yeah,
there. There's
it's like
plenty to be
it's.
had.
Is that like
I mean,
is that
we-
like a part of an internet that
No,
even I haven't
I just
been to?
literally, when I get it stuck in trying to split a piece of wood,
Oh,
and, I can't,
yeah.
and it's like, you know what? Fuck it. That's why I got gas.
You don't just.
Just everything.
You don't just
And I know
flip
what
it
you mean
upside
by-
down and hit it the other direction.
With what? I only got one axe.
Yeah, you flip it upside down and hit the log with the axe head in it on something hard, like another log, and then
Wanna
it
jump?
splits up.
Or just
I've split a lot of firewood in my life.
just do it properly the first time.
Yeah,
So-
or just be a fucking man and hit it once.
I'm not-
I mean,
I'm
whatever.
I'm
It's
not
up
big.
to you.
I'm not big into cutting wood.
Or just don't be a bitch. I mean,
Like,
that's another
I
option.
used to have a friend of mine. I had a friend of mine who used to be like, "Hey man, you want to come over for the weekend?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Awesome. I got like a cord and a half of ironwood needs splitting." I'm like, "Fuck off." He's like, "I love watching you split ironwood."
That person would not be my friend.
Yeah.
Not for long with that.
I used to love splitting wood.
So, are you coming back? That's the question.
Are you
we need
getting
to know.
well? What do you want to? So I mean, I'm presuming.
Well, almost on a clock here. I only have
He's
half
a
an
mouse
hour.
in a snow hill in the dark. I'm sure he can fucking do whatever he
Well,
wants.
he said there was a few shrubs nearby there, so I want to see how close I can get to the shrubs.
We'll give you this as like a little animal token anyway.
A fox would have been a cool thing to turn into.
Yeah.
Except they might have.
You
They might
can't
have
get
shot
that
you.
big yet.
Wait, I made you the coolest dire wolf thing, like a large dire wolf, and I was taking it out of the supports, and snap, its legs came off.
You
So
should see the one Don painted yesterday.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
that's,
there's a new one in the printer right now, so don't worry. Oh, good lord, that
Yep.
one's slightly bigger.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's our future.
Well, at least someone already
didn't
finished them
say
off
that.
for us almost.
Yeah.
Almost. I made some cool benches.
Sweet.
Phil did make some cool benches. We can look at Phil's
You should have made some miniature kitchens.
That'd be awesome, actually.
Or you could have got them to paint it, and you could have just told them how to do
You
it.
just whittled it.
Yeah.
Phil's just in the corner of the beer. He's like, "No, salt.
No, you
No.
start all
Take-
over,
take the
take the
tile
whole
off.
thing out, start from scratch.
Trim that shit out
Yeah.
properly."
Come on, guys.
Who the fuck taught you guys how to grout at like 1/16 scale? You're just there trying to put these little like 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch tiles on one at a time.
All right, so you coming back to tell us? Because I want to enact my awesome
I
plan
think
of
you were looking to
awesomeness.
get.
A bit closer, yeah, to see kind of what
If we
you're
could do a
talking about.
Viking D&D, we could do like a 40s America, like post World War II D&D.
You can do D&D anything.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the D&D system.
I'm doing the next campaign. We're all going to play feminists in the modern world.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and we're going to be battling mostly the patriarchy.
enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause-
We shoot the best.
yeah. Your characters are going to be on a strict regiment. They're going to be a minimum 350 pounds. Yeah. They're going to demand that you care about their health and their feelings.
There's 8 characters in the game, and you only have 2 name choices: Deborah and Karen.
And only 2 hair color choices, pink and purple.
Alright. So
Okay.
Hogak, you get up, you find
We're going to get done
the
really
terrain
demonetized
sort
now.
of comes up on a couple of sides. There's sort of those little copse of shrubs, kind of not far from where they are. It's all kind of giving them a little bit of shelter. And yeah, you make it up there. You're like 15 feet away from the campfire at this point. You get the little Let's say you've got like,
I mean, do you want to just jump right in the campfire? Like,
you know,
you can't see it at 15 feet away.
You
I'm
get
trying to hear what they're saying. Like, if they're relatively friendly.
kind of this little copse of trees,
Yeah.
shrubs, whatever.
All right, then I'm going to try and like eavesdrop in on them, see what they're doing.
Yeah,
talk
they're not being particularly quiet. You're not sure if they know what you know about the wildlife up here.
Is one of them by chance Antonio Banderas?
He is not.
Oh crap! I don't know.
They're like a mountainous thing with Antonio Banderas. I'm not familiar.
13 Warriors.
Oh, 13th War. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you. I got you.
I was just
I
hoping.
was gonna say I don't think they weren't up in the mountain really though.
No, but they could have been.
It would be cool. Yeah. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying not right now.
I just don't want you to copyright that story and also get demonetized. So
Right.
just change it a little bit.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you over here, I mean, you catch different bits of conversation going on, but in the midst of it, you catch some complaints about you get the impression they've come from the other side of the mountain,
Okay.
and they're fleeing the wolves. You guys experienced one wolf attack where you've heard stories of a few smattering attacks here and there, but it sounds as though where they've come from on the other side of the mountains, it's bad.
Like it's consistently.
Yeah, like it's way worse than just the wolves attacked here a week ago. It's like these people are literally fleeing their homes to get away from the chaos on the other side of the mountains.
All right. On that's a good note for me to leave, and we have something to talk about. They're kind of fleeing, so we can at least pretend that we're here to help them. So I'm hightailing back.
Sure. So you go back and
As soon as he tells me all what's going on, I'm gonna say, "Wait right here," and I'm gonna run back to the dead ogre,
Actually,
take its head, and come back.
keep in mind we're in the blizzard.
so it's snowing heavily.
You're going
You
back
left the
half a kilometer.
ogre.
It's only half a kilometer
Yeah.
away.
All right.
Yes, but it is.
I used to walk to school and shit like this. We're good.
Okay.
Sure. Give me. So you're just going by yourself to get this?
Well, I mean, unless you guys want to come with me.
No. I got a different plan.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to die in this on this ice field someplace.
Like,
It's,
literally-
it's right on the edge of the ice field, isn't it?
You were like.
But
you were
there
like
was a
100 feet or
pit
so
right
in.
in front of it. Depending on where you go out there, it could.
Okay, fine. I won't do it.
I mean,
You guys talk
you
about-
can go.
I mean, would my character feel like it's like a big trek to go out there? I mean, I feel like it's only 500 meters away. It's not super far, and I just walked it 15 minutes ago. Like I know it's snowing heavy, but there's going to be a huge trench where 5 people went through the snow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gone. You guys stopped for an hour. It's been
You're right.
snowing
You're
for an
right.
hour
You're
when we
right.
passed. That's
I
what
forgot
mean.
that we short rested.
So
Yeah.
you've now covered this entire ice field with probably 3 inches of snow by this point. Your tracks are gone, and things that you might have
Okay.
seen before.
I forgot about the short rest.
Yeah.
I won't throw ogre heads in the intimidation checks. But did we canon that my eyes are green at night?
Okay, I'm gonna just say to everybody, okay, like this shit that we've been doing all day is the shit you guys do.
No, you.
This is the shit that I do. Let me lead.
Just
us
hear
in.
Brego screaming as he's butchered alive.
Like,
This was supposed to be my day.
No. It works out for me. Let me lead in. Just give me a minute. Follow behind me, but let me explain what's going on before all of us armed people walk into this group.
I'm not going to walk in like all my weapons will be sheathed and everything.
Yeah.
The rest monster might be a little
you
bit of
guys,
a
you
weird
guys
thing.
tell me what you're doing.
I'm gonna head up, and as
follow
soon as
Brego.
I get where I can kind of hear their voices, I'm gonna start to whistle and just play like something melodic on my lute, so they can hear me coming a mile away.
Okay.
But
As-
you're only
as you-
100 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, they can hear me coming from as far away as they can hear me coming from.
You
Get with the program here, Phil.
You can kind of faintly hear the sound of voices. You start making some noise. You hear a bit of a ruckus, and as you kind of get to where you can see, it's kind of the light of the kind of the circle of light of the fire. You can see pretty much all of them are standing. A couple of them just have like their hands on their weapons. Several of them have their weapons drawn, and they're basically peering out into the dark.
They can't see much, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm looking into the light, and they're looking in the
you're
dark. Yeah.
presumably
I'll
a little
if you
bit
don't
further.
if you don't oppose it, I would go with you.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
like,
don't care.
I'm not super afraid.
As soon
of
as
this.
I feel like I'm close enough that they can see me, at least my silhouette,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop playing the lute and do like finally a fire, like the friend, like as jovial as I can be, like not 1 ounce of being
Who
scared.
goes there?
It's Brego Trade, renowned bard.
Yeah, I'd be like literally like 5 feet behind him.
Who?
I'm standing up.
Brego Trade, renowned bard.
It's like Star-Lord who? No. What do you mean, man?
Hey man, I'm a legend in my own mind. It's not my fault that they don't know. Whatever.
Like, Bard. What are you doing up here?
Trying to get across this ice field. We've been battling with the wolves and bandits, and we're just trying to get to the other side of the mountain. We've been freezing our asses off all day.
How many are you?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.5,
Four.
3.5.
You're 3.5.
Just 4 of us.
Come on into the light.
Okay, I'm going to warn you. We have a tamed rust monster with us.
You hear some... Is it on a leash?
It is.
Come into the light.
Freezing its cockroach nuts off.
So I'll go into the light.
Sure. Now, you guys are all following? You're kind
Yeah,
of moving
I'll
as a
follow right
group.
behind him. Yeah.
Okay, weapon sheath and everything.
Yeah.
I'm standing.
And,
And I immediately attack. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. Huzzah!
Jokes on you guys.
So they kind of they kind of welcome you a little bit standoffish, but they're not kind of attacking. They kind of invite you to come
I'm
into-
going to totally play it off like I don't even know they're standoffish. I'm just like best buds. Like, it's all good. No stress.
Nice North Face tents you got there.
Right.
That's so you can make your way back after you piss out in a snowstorm.
It's
You see
orange.
that bright orange?
Yeah, you don't want white tents out in the middle of a field.
They ask you
fucked
basically. Sorry, say again. Why are you up here?
I'll give them a little rundown of what we're coming from.
Okay.
Like a little
Bow and arrow.
we've been
Just
fighting
camouflage,
with the
like, put it down,
wolves.
they
We've
go
had
get my
all these
arrow and come
like
back
just a
and
little backstory, brief.
Oh, no.
Like obviously we already know that
An
they're
hour to find it.
fleeing from wolves,
Right.
so I would totally play off of that.
They tell you. They say, why in God's name would you want to go to the other side of the mountains?
Well, we thought
That's where
we
we're
thought
fleeing
that was a
from.
place to go.
I'd say because we're gonna kill everybody on the other side that has to do with these damn wolf attacks.
Well,
Nice. And I would probably casually bring up the fact that we literally just killed an ogre, like not even a kilometer from their camp. So I tell them that basically, like, you know, I don't know if you're gonna mention it, but
No, I would probably just sit down on like something like a rock and be like, yeah, that one's the hero.
I would tell them that if they're going that way, not only did we kill an ogre that attacked us, but there's also a bay here running around, and it killed one of our most gloried warriors. So it's not much better on the other side. Not to mention there's giants.
Well, it's a pretty treacherous
Yeah,
glacier.
it's not any better on the other side.
You're looking at too much to us.
We haven't been to their side. That's hard to say.
Oh no,
as
it's not.
you start
Wink,
talking,
wink.
well, as you start sharing, you tell them about kind of what you've just come through, like this afternoon. They were unaware. They know nothing about this ice field. They've come up, they've climbed up, they've trekked across solid mountains. They've maybe dealt with some smaller versions, but nothing nearly as big or intimidating as what you've talked about. They've got a fair bit of meat. They've dealt with they've dealt with a couple of it looks like basically beasts that they've encountered on the way up. But it doesn't look like they don't sound like they've encountered any. They've avoided conflict with any giants or giant kin or other big shit that lives up in the mountains.
I'm gonna just mention them. I'm just gonna draw like a little map of the ice field in the snow and do like that big crevasse that was in the middle and be like, unless you can jump 20 feet, avoid that.
I mean, even the giants are dead at the bottom of it, so it's fairly far
They
down.
look pretty discouraged about this and figure that they're probably looking at taking a long way around to try to find a way to the other side.
I'd say, why take the long way around? Why not come with us?
They tell you that the village that they have come from has been all but completely wiped out by wolves. They do tell you that there's one village on the other side that's kind of become a bit of an outpost, a village called Murby, and it basically they've decided to kind of take a more aggressive stance. They've built a tall palisade around the entire village.
What's it called?
Murby.
Murby. Yeah. M-U-R and then B. But they've built like a high, like a good, there's like the palisade, and then there's the palisade with like the little a platform to like stand and shoot from, or wield spears, so you're actually defending the top of the wall, not just waiting for things to get over it. They've got kind of routine watches set. They've got everybody who lives in the outlying communities basically brings everything inside the walls every night. They have people trying to go out and hunt, but even then, it seems like they're not losing like 5 hunters a day or anything like that. But it's not uncommon for a group of people to go out hunting wolves and to come back. We killed 3 wolves, but we lost a guy. Except there seems to be a lot more wolves than there are people in this village, so they're slowly wearing down, but they are putting up a bit of a resistance. They have attracted a few people. These guys are more or less common folk, and they're just hoping to get away from this. Kind of the story of human migration. There's shit here, we're going to try to find less shit over there.
Basically like the next 2 years of our lives.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Is there any way that I could convince them that this sounds better than where we came from, and if they could help guide us there, that maybe we could help?
You get the sense that they're not convinced that things are worse on the south side of the mountains. Give me an insight check.
I would also ask, while we're kind of conversing too, if any of them are warriors, or if any of them are like, who's leading the group.
They're standard Vikings. Like they all look capable of wielding weapons and things like that. There's no real official spokesman.
Because I'm
15.
15.
Oh, go ahead. You do that first.
You kind of read the crowd that you don't think you could convince them that things are better back home, where they come from. But you do think that, your group is out for basically to try to end this threat or deal with it in some way. You do think that given the reputation that you guys typically have been building up, you might be able to convince them with some heroic tales that they might be
I'm
better
about to
off.
show them a heroic tale here, so...
Right. You think
pants.
you might be able to convince them to go back
You follow
with
this.
you, not because it's better, but with the hope that you guys are going
I'm
to
gonna
help
slay a beast
overcome and
with
they can
it.
get their homes back.
like that.
We follow
Okay.
him. I'm going to tell them, we come from all the way across the mountain to slay the leader of these cults that are causing all these problems.
Do they even know about the cults?
Well, I was going to bring up the fact that the problem with them is that they're killing the wolves, and the wolves aren't the real problem. The people that are controlling the wolves are, and that's what we're here to kill.
That doesn't make any sense. A dingo ate my baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
It's always too soon. Yeah, especially when you say that to a real Australian. Don't ask, but it didn't turn out well. Anyway, I'll tell them all you need is a leader worth following, and instead of being people that ran from your village, you might be the heroes of your village. And if there's none amongst you that...
I'm going to nudge you and be like, show him some of your sword shit. You gotta be a showman.
I got it.
You gotta be a showman.
I got it. And I would
I don't
say...
know what your charisma is, but you need to work on it.
Oh, I got a decent charisma. Don't worry. But I'm not going to use my charisma. I'm going to use my turning into a giant. That's all the charisma I need. I'm going to say, tell me which one amongst you is the greatest warrior here.
They kind of look around and there's
Joe can pull a mean turnip.
He's a pretty badass farmer himself. I've seen
He
him.
smiles
I've
and
seen him kill 2 or 3 carrots.
He smiles and points to the woman next to him. He's like, "Yeah, but she can pull me."
Oh, I'm sorry for that woman.
Strong hands.
Yes.
Very,
Strong breath, too. Wow.
yeah, very calloused hands. Not great.
One of them,
Button off the canvas
after a
and
couple minutes, one of them steps forward, and he's a pretty big guy. He doesn't really hold himself like an experienced warrior, but he does look strong.
And I look at him and I would kind of just like chewing on a piece of ration that I have in my bag as we're catching. I'd say, tell me, what would you rather be? Dead and frozen on the glaciers or heroes of your village and all the surrounding villages?
Well, we don't plan to be heroes, but
And I'm gonna
I
like
suppose anything's better than being frozen to death.
I'm gonna walk right up to him as I'm kind of like chewing on a piece of dried meat, like right up to his face, and I'll say, tell you what you're lacking is leadership.
The whole time this is going on, I'm like pretty much on the fucking fire.
Right.
Like this.
Not even
And-
paying attention.
And I'm just
warming.
like,
You are a musician who, given the opportunity, enjoys playing a stringed instrument, and trying to move your fingers
Yeah.
is just like
I'm just-
they're numb, they're slow, and as you were walking up trying to like whistle and play a bit of music, you just like chords only tonight.
yeah.
Yeah. When I worked at the rock quarry, I had to tie explosive lines, and they're basically like a thick string
Yep.
almost, and it's like minus 40 out, and you can't do it with gloves on, so it's like it's like so painful. Yeah, and it's like I only got 300 more knots to go.
Right.
Yeah, I hate that job. Anyway, so I just kind of be staring him right up in his face, and I'll say, "I'm that guy." And if you'd like to test it, by all means, we could have a game of strength, perhaps.
Give me a persuasion. Roll strength, but I'll let you use your persuasion score.
So what am I adding to it?
So basically, well, do you have proficiency in persuasion?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So that's a 16 with no.
Okay, I was gonna say, so basically your strength score straight up, where you have that plus your strength modifier.
My strength modifier is 4.
So that's, what is that, an 18?
18. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You stride up, and you're kind of like, you're not doing anything supernatural yet, but you're kind of like, you know, giving a subtle
I'll be your
flex.
Huckleberry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll build him up.
Yeah,
I'll be
I love that
like,
movie.
strongest boat builder in the East.
I'm here, Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of like stand to like your full height, let the chest out a little bit, shoulders back, and kind of, you know, that air of confidence that you get when you legit kicked some ass in your life, and they kind of like. They kind of look at you for a second, and the guy you're kind of staring down says, "Well, yeah, I could. What do you suggest?"
Well, I suggest that you take us back to this outpost you were talking about. And when we get there, we figure out what's causing these wolves to attack everybody, and we go and we kill it. And maybe if you do a good job, and being a local hero isn't good enough for you, you can come with me on my next raids and be a local legend.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that later, but we just want our homes back, our lives back, and be able to sleep in peace without hearing wolves every night and wondering if they're coming through the windows for us.
That sounds like something a pussy would say.
I'm gonna chip in. I'm gonna chip in and be like, that's exactly what the situation that we came from, and I'll be like, you know what? Why don't we? If you don't mind sharing your fire and your camp for the night, I can provide some entertainment and we can discuss it in the morning, and then I'll spend the night telling tales about what has happened to us in the last month.
Funny, that's the same thing my 6-year-old daughter said.
She's gonna share what?
No, about that, just wanting to have a warm bed to sleep in and
Yeah.
be safe in your
No,
house.
no.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was really hoping I was going to be able to hurl one of these guys into a tree, but oh well.
Instead of trying to intimidate them, I'm going to try to charm them a little bit into like just encourage them.
We're going good cop, bad cop with this thing. That's going to be our thing from.
Well, I feel
And he's going to be the guy that clearly we arrested for people.
Well, he's
for some
actually
kind of-
pillaging their tents as we're having this conversation.
Yeah. While we're having the
Both
good
times
cop,
it's
bad
going
cop,
on.
he's actually being the criminal.
I was gonna say,
I'm just talking.
if you guys are good cop, bad cop, he's with you because he is the usual suspect.
Yeah. We keep him close because he's the one who always steals from everyone.
I know what you're talking about. But
I'm going
as
to
you're
encourage
doing
them
that, I'm talking to them.
through stories and maybe some embellishments, but I'm not going to try to force them.
They invite you to come and share the fire. One of them
Thank
goes.
fucking God.
One of them goes to one of the tents and kind of comes out with not a massive cask, but like a decent sized keg of ale.
Gotta respect people that are willing to carry up a keg into the bush.
Yeah, those guys know how to party.
Yeah, well, I mean it's what you drink. You
Yeah.
know? So it's just part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but they share some drinks. There's some meat roasting on the fire. Like I said, they've had some wildlife encounters on the way up here, so they seem to be.
I'm gonna tell them
meat.
the tale of the bandit camp with the bandits and the wolves that came, and
Sure.
just give them the whole, obviously with a little bit of flavor on it.
Sure.
Like nobody got hit, nobody went down.
Give me a performance check if you're kind of putting it on a little bit.
16.
Okay. Yeah, they look pretty noticeably impressed as you're telling them the stories of like the things that you guys have done over the last week or so, and even as you're telling stories about Ulfar's momentous leap over the chasm, or how quickly you guys brought down an ogre in what
2 rounds.
like 15 seconds.
Yeah. I think I would mention Harold too. I'd be like, we have heroes on our side that are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good.
They're definitely visibly moved as you tell, if you tell the story of Harold and the Bay here and the Valkyries, they're like, holy shit, you guys hang out in
Drinks are free again tonight.
Right.
That's the point, man.
Yeah, that's all the reason you become a bard is for free beer.
Right. You made a gold today, and I made a gold today, but you bought your own drink.
Yeah.
I ate at McDonald's for free. Yeah. So ultimately, you guys are basically trying to persuade them of the same things. You're just going about it in different ways. So, but between the two of you,
I'm not actively working against him. I'm just
no. That's what I mean.
yeah.
They just needed a stiff rudder. That's all they need to get them in the right direction.
You said stiff, and he's excited.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying not to make any comments.
You're busy stealing their
Yeah, the whole time.
nothing that they brought with them.
I know they obviously brought stuff. They had a keg.
That's all they brought. Just they were gonna use that to keep them warm on the.
Well, they must have their possessions with them. They
Yeah,
were
they're looking
fleeing their
They
home, right?
They have a few things.
They're fleeing their homes.
You would expect. If you were to look through,
We're not.
I
Let's
am.
make this quite clear. That's not what we're doing.
No.
Right.
I am, but if they're going to be coming with us, I'm not touching anything. If they're not going to come with us to show us where we're going, I'm going to steal them from.
You make your way into one of the tents, and you there's nobody around. You take a quick rummage through it.
How many pounds of metal have we had to feed our pet to, by the way?
Well, it's only been a day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's once a
this,
day we do
this
it?
This is like your second night.
Oh, okay.
And I think you said a half pound a day to keep them going. So yeah.
You take a look around in here, and you see mostly not even a lot of. There's not a lot of extra stuff. It's like tools, food, like rations and drink. You might see some meager possessions, some items of minor religious significance and stuff like that. But there's not really. There's not a great deal of wealth. These are people who are trying to get out of someplace.
Is it families? Is there children?
There's no children, and you can certainly.
I guess we can steal from them.
Yep.
But
I feel like that might be a sensitive topic right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe children were the first ones to get eaten by the wolves. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like people veal, okay?
Well, they're slow.
They're just so tender.
They see Yarder and they're like, This is the next one to go.
Right.
Short legs.
He can't.
But he's old and beaten.
Snack pack.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I'm happy because I've got to talk to somebody else and told some stories, and it's warm.
You didn't die in an ice hole.
It's warm.
Yeah. You might see a couple of common items that are maybe a little bit nicer, but nothing like there's no fine china or silverware type stuff.
Nothing worth
here.
taking to sell.
Not really. Like you figure if you were to like take everything that's here, like literally if you loaded up a packing mule with everything these people are traveling with, you might make like 10 gold selling it or something like that.
So I'm going for the gold on their person. Gotcha.
Yeah. You don't know what they might be carrying on them.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna, as they're trying to persuade their top guy there, I'm gonna be talking to the rest of them, like, yeah, playing it up and taking a look at their pouches, seeing if they have anything.
Just couldn't help yourself, could you?
You're freaking stealing from right now, man?
No, I'm not stealing. I'm making conversation, but if they don't help, I'm going to steal.
He's
if they are
not
going to help,
stealing,
I
he's
won't.
casing.
Yeah.
Okay? He's
There
not
we go.
breaking anywhere.
Which
He's carrying-
guess what gets you in jail as
It
well?
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When somebody finds you in their pocket, it doesn't matter if something's missing or not.
No, I'm just looking at it.
If they catch you with your hand in a pocket, just like quickly
Well,
get them.
I think if I read this correctly right now, you're basically trying to just get a gist for who might like.
Who has the biggest
A
pouch to take?
a fisherman probably doesn't have quite as much money as a blacksmith. A farmer
Yeah.
might be fairly well off if they've been productive.
Yeah.
Compared to, somebody who's basically a hired hand for somebody.
Yeah.
So.
Save you a lot of time. Who's got the warmest boots? That's the guy that's got the money.
Yep.
They
That's pretty well what I'm looking for. Like, those seem the furriest. That must be the guy.
Oh, she's wearing sandals. That's not good.
For the most part,
Yeah.
you don't notice a lot of difference. I mean, they have come from kind of different, not really different social standings so much, but they've had different roles in the community. But for the most part, they don't. None of them appear to have a lot more substantial wealth on them than any others. You do notice that not the biggest guy that Ulfar was talking to, but there's another guy who kind of carries himself a little bit better, and you do notice that he has kind of like a not massive, but he has a gold chain hanging around his neck that sort of disappears under tunics and furs and things like that. It's about the only. It's probably the most significant sign of wealth that you notice. Nobody's really got bulging money pouches or anything like that.
Yeah.
I figure it's probably why they're traveling with so many tools and things like that.
Yeah, it's
because
to
if they had a
start
lot
over.
if they had a lot of money, you just run and you buy new stuff when you get there. But
They're starting over, so they're
yeah,
all right. So I got to keep an eye on him. I'm not stealing anything yet. Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
I
wait.
think just because of my past and like I already caught you stealing from me once. If I just notice him doing anything that I thought was obvious, I might just be like discreetly being like, like just wait, just like I'm not telling you what to do. Just like
Well, we've worked out.
we got to sleep here. We have to sleep here tonight.
You kind of talked to him a couple
Okay,
of times.
yeah.
He seems like he's behaving right now. He's
Okay.
kind of wandering around, kind of making small
Okay.
talk with
Yeah.
people.
I don't want to have to worry about where I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the point of charming these people for a warm place to sleep if we're going to piss them off before we get to sleep?
Right.
Kill them when they're asleep and take everything then. That way I
So
don't
yeah,
have to
you
deliberate
guys,
who.
you
Don't
like-
tell me that.
So you convince them that in the morning, like basically you're gonna wait through the snowstorm, and when the weather breaks and the sun is up, they will basically take you back the way that they've come up through the mountains.
Great.
And they will lead you as quickly as they can to Murdy.
I will lead these people to glory.
I think they were going to lead us.
Glorious
Yeah.
death.
I think they were going to lead us.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to get them all killed.
That's the spirit.
Yes.
Take turnip
Yes.
farmers into
I think this
battle,
went
that's what
really
happens.
well.
Yeah.
What else could we have wanted?
That works for me. Get them all killed. I'll take all the coin.
Just
then.
say I'd rather be.
Wow.
What?
There's a picture in Discord of a Viking flying squirrel.
Yeah,
I told you.
That's what I said earlier. I was like, Karen's listening.
Oh, did you?
Because
Okay.
it came up when we were trying to
Yeah,
cross the
so-
crevice.
I see.
Someone had already been there. I'm just saying it exists. It's
Yes.
canon.
Right.
I like it.
Now, that isn't actually a flying squirrel, it's just a squirrel with a Viking helmet.
Well,
and
the fact that it's not in a
what I would
catapult
argue
is
was
the only
more like
dis-
either a crusader or an Agincourt style sword. it's not really Viking
If-
build. The build is all wrong. And
If
so
it had
the
been in a
blade design,
catapult,
but-
I'd have.
Yeah, that's a loss of points.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's your comment to me. So it does exist. Yes. Okay. Enough of those distractions. There's a reason I don't look at chat during, for the most part, during this stuff. All right. So, anything you guys are doing or volunteering to do while you're at camp tonight, or are you guys just kind of like grabbing some food, grabbing some drink, finding a warm spot, and
That's what I'm
spot?
volunteering to do. I will find a warm spot if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I'm going to stay up for a while and kind of keep watch since I have night vision.
Okay.
You hurt yourself.
I'll stay up for a little bit too, but I'm not.
I got a shit back.
I'll stay up for a little bit too, but my guy's not staying up
Yeah.
super late.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, just more casing, seeing who's trying to sleep where. And adding to
It
the
looks
casing.
it looks as though there are kind of two couples
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of single guys that, as you kind of caught some conversation, you guys would get the impression that pretty much everybody up here has lost everything and everyone. So if there were kids,
Perfect.
they're gone. Oh yeah, these
They're the
these-
perfect guys to throw into battle.
Yeah,
They got nothing to lose.
they're the expendables.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
So what's that?
I was the Stacy. Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Oh.
I gotcha. I was like, please not in my dryer. Alright. Anyway,
Honey,
Yeah.
why does the laundry smell funny? No reason.
Don't just wash it again.
Yeah.
Wash it
at
again.
least 2 more times. Yeah, so I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna stay up for a good bit
Sure.
and just kind of relax and rest and everything, and keep warm by the fire, but keep a watch. And well, you guys can
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, there's a lot of us here, so.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna let them keep watch for us either.
Sure.
And I literally don't need to rest for anything right now, besides just the sake of resting.
Right. Yeah.
But so yeah, I'd like to stay up and might as well use that fact that I'm the only one who has dark vision to advantage.
Right. Yeah. So you guys. Yeah.
And 120 feet. Just gonna throw that out there. That's pretty decent.
Not too shabby. I mean, no Twilight Cleric, but
Or it's no warlock with Devil's Sight, but I mean, whatever.
Right.
You do it. Yeah. Well, is there,
yeah. So the night passes. I mean, the weather keeps up.
Yeah.
How late? Like you're not staying awake the entire night. I presume.
No, I'm gonna get a few hours of sleep in and everything, but I'd
Sure.
like to stay up a good bit of it,
Yeah.
and kind of make sure that because I don't trust these guys 100%, give those guys a good rest, and then maybe one of you wants to get up for the last half or something.
yeah, sure, I can do that.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel pretty comfortable. Like,
Well, you know what?
They seem
You
pretty
stay-
receptive.
I feel like I'll just leave Brego sleeping.
You guys kind of pick one tent to kind of like, put your group up in to kind of share, and as you go in to kind of wake one of them up, you see Hogak kind of like he looks fairly comfortable actually as he's one of the weird things you notice about Hogak is that
Which one?
Yeah.
Which weird
One
thing?
of the weird things. Yeah.
Shut up. One of the odd things you've noticed as you've been traveling through the mountains is that he almost never looks cold. Like you've seen Brego all the time, and he's like, fucking goddamn stupid cold fucking wind, goddamn snow, fucking mountains, stupid whatever fucking god invented snow, blah blah. Blah. Like he's not happy up here. And Hogak isn't like he's not like sunning himself, but he walks like he's fairly comfortable most of the time.
different.
He is bundled up about the same as the rest of you, but he doesn't seem bothered much by the weather.
When I go in there to wake him up, do I know where he keeps his money pouch?
Oh, I tie it to my nuts.
Give me
I tie it to my
I
nuts
get-
when I sleep.
give me
Insight check?
an invest. Actually, what's your intelligence bonus?
Not much. 1.
1. Do you have proficiency in investigation?
No.
No.
He's here to fight.
You don't.
Not Sherlock Holmes here.
You don't really you're not sure what it is that Hogak does with money that he gets. It's just kind of like it's in his hand 1 minute, and you kind of see like, you know, it just kind of disappears. It goes someplace on him. You don't know if he keeps it in his sock, if he keeps it in like his cod piece or something.
What's even more confusing is when he was a squirrel, where the fuck did it go?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Coin
I'm
purse is beautiful, right?
like, honestly, I think at this point I want to like just kind of prank him a little bit, and I want to find something really weird to stick into one of his pockets.
Okay.
Oh, even better. I'm going to take. No, I better not do that. That might actually backfire really bad. I was going to take my heirloom thing and stick it in his pocket, and then confront him about stealing it from me. What do you want?
Never see Hogak again.
Yeah, I'd be like, he'd be like, "What? That thing I sold 2 days ago?" I'm like, "What?" No, I'm just gonna wait. I feel like this is all gonna go downhill real fast.
Yeah. Just say, keep in mind.
But I'm gonna be watching him. Like, I think my character is gonna like know that that's his MO, and kind of be like, if I can find out where he's putting his shit when he steals it and stuff like that, I might want to pull a prank on him later or something, just to kind of screw with him.
Right.
But obviously he doesn't know that yet.
So
I'm just gonna wake him up.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you walk in, you see Hogak kind of like stretched out under a
He keeps
blanket.
his money in the prison pouch.
Yeah,
Over in a corner,
we all know that.
you see Brego buried under what looks like every skin, bedroll, blanket, spare T-shirt, like whatever he could find is. You don't even really see Brego. You kind of like see a little bit of like steamy breath coming out, and you see like this heap of like this bundle of furs and stuff on the ground. You assume he's in there somewhere. You can kind of hear him snoring a little bit, but he looks. You get the impression that A, it would be a lot of work to find him, much less wake him up right now, and
Yeah.
B, he's in his happy place right now.
I'm just gonna wake up Hogak and ask him to take a watch with whoever they've decided out there.
Sure.
You should have pranked me.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, you should have.
but I'm not going to.
Oh no, because I'm gonna get you guys now.
Well, you don't know that.
You don't know
I was
what
already
you're
planning on doing it.
What I love is at some point, every group I think I've ever run, at some point it comes to, yeah, I want to fuck with him a little bit.
Yeah, I was
Every
like,
group.
if I had a fish head right now, where could I hide it in his clothing that he would have a hard time finding it?
It sounds like a guy thing to do naturally.
Yeah, trust me, I was in the army for 10 years. The terrible, terrible things you've done to people in the field.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Anyway,
You know, so many of your army friends are around.
yeah,
Ouch.
that's because they're all dead, Phil.
Oh,
I'm just joking. Mostly. Anyway,
So,
I'm joking. But seriously, no.
that's why I don't make
Crush your
jokes.
joke.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Definitely 2 beers short today.
Didn't I do that once? I'm like, something about your mom. You're like, I'm like, oh fuck, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
Nothing
I'm
tops
joking.
Jordan.
They're not all
What's
dead.
that?
Nothing tops the last guy from work there, Jordan. Oh, your mom must be rolling in her grave. It's like, thanks, man. It's been a month. Asshole. He just completely like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
I'm going to wake up Hogak and let him know what's going on and tell him that I'm going to catch a few hours of sleep if he wants to take watch with who's ever out there. If that works for you.
Yeah, that was part of the plan.
So between the two of you, the snow continues about probably a little bit past midnight, and then it begins to slowly taper off. The night passes fairly uneventfully. I mean, you guys have got a decent sized encampment. There's some bright light. Most beasts aren't going to come near you. There's enough of you that you know, even if they're commoners, you could presumably do some damage even to like a solitary frost giant or something. But you pass the night for whatever reason, without any major incident. Amazingly enough, for the
Good vibes,
party.
man.
No.
It's good vibes.
Yeah.
Brego gets a full night of warm sleep.
As you
Trust me, you will appreciate Brego too.
You're
as
cooking
you-
breakfast.
You guys,
As you
make it
climb-
smell skunk in there.
As you guys kind of exit the tent in the morning, it looks like there's probably been about 14 inches of snow since it started the afternoon before.
You know how I know that?
Because Aldous got snow up to the bottom of his nose.
No, I was gonna say I use my penis to measure it. I just fold it in half and then do a dip check.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 7 times 2.
yeah. Times divided by the square root. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to go 14 times down and I make it to the bottom. So.
That's right.
But if you get in a fight with him, all you have to do is show him a picture of a naked woman and wait for him to pass out.
All right. Yeah. I. Turns out that's my giant mite. Only affects one area of my body. So I'd probably
Enlarged person.
I was going to say, that would have been an amazing use of enlarge reduce.
Yeah, for an intimidation check. Who wants to go? All right. I probably get up fairly early in the morning too. Just get enough sleep just to kind of like 3-4 hours max.
So you get up. There's some of their group is already up and about. The fire's been tended through the night to kind of keep a warm spot. But there's you kind of have like a 6-foot diameter area or radius around the campfire itself, and beyond that, like the snow is fairly deep. By the time you get out, you find Arda. He's very comfortably inside the area of melted snow, and you can see like the snow is up to like here outside of, like as he's kind of close to the edge of where it's at its full height. It's like halfway up his body at this point. The rust monster again is like.
Is it like a legit insect?
It is technically a monstrosity,
Okay.
but it would resemble an insect.
Let's just say if
but-
you saw an insect the size of a cocker spaniel, you'd be like, "That's a
Yeah, I
monstrosity."
just mean like, if it was an insect, it would be dead in the winter, right?
If it was cold blooded, yeah, it would be. Presumably it would at least be in some form of stasis or something.
Oh,
I think the idea
So,
is that
are you saying we're supposed to like use our imaginations and shit? Like,
Yeah.
it's not a real bug?
yeah, Phil, as you mock someone to death. Yeah, you say, "Go get her," and all of a sudden the guy actually does better.
You can borrow my D6. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I'd get up and because I'd want to get an early start on getting through these mountains before we get any more storms.
I
Especially
think
with
I
all
would
that snow.
also be up early, and I would probably like be trying to.
Especially since you slept all night.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I had a great sleep, but I would get up early, and I would be trying to like get everybody in a good spirit. Be like, it's going to be great. I
You're like the worst
You
guy
suck.
to have in a shitty situation.
No, but
don't worry, guys.
you know,
we're
you got
gonna
all these
have a fun
people, it's
time.
like-
Everybody, and everyone's like,
But
"Oh, fuck this
you
guy."
slept warmly last night.
I did, yeah.
All the way
You weren't-
back
I'm in a
down,
good
we're
mood.
Going through
You weren't
everything
kinda
we
like
just
full,
went through.
huddled under
We've got
like
little
2
Richard
extra
Simmons
blankets,
over here trying to
dressed in
encourage
full
us.
winter clothes, and still like shivering on the cold ground.
Yeah.
You had enough. Like you don't even know where you got some of this stuff. You just kind of like you had like 8 inches of
Yeah.
shit underneath you to insulate you from the ground, and then like a 1.5 feet of blankets over top of you, and all you know is it was.
I'm getting some PTSD flashbacks right now.
I would
so.
definitely be like, everybody, I'd be like, this is gonna, we gotta
Real
get
shitty
moving on.
time.
We gotta get to this place. We're gonna be safe when we
I
get
did
there.
2 weeks and
Just
it hit minus
reinforcement,
38
positive reinforcement,
in
guy.
Alberta. It was fucking cold.
And I'm back to like, because we're in a group. I'm back to like, I can't go anywhere without humming or whistling, and I'm tapping my leg. Like it's just back.
I feel like in a bigger group we could probably let him get away with that a bit
They
more.
share some more of their food with you in the morning, and have campfire. You just kind of keep it
Yeah.
sizzling over the fire all night, right?
Is that bacon?
So would there ever like possibly be a sea route to where these people come from, either by river or around the entire?
There probably would be. Give me a second here.
Because like I want to leave a little bit of a mark at every village we go to, so one day in the future
That's what he's doing.
You
Yeah.
could. I mean, you could sail to.
wrong kind of mark. Yeah.
Or which one? You mean the stealing mark or the goat mark?
Yeah.
I mean, the beautiful thing about a longboat is that,
You go up rivers. Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, you can put like
All the goats.
you can put like 3 tons of stuff in it on top of the boat, and it's still got like an 8-inch draft to it. Right?
Yeah.
Like they basically skim on top of the water. They're flexible, so they do well with with rough seas.
How many people roughly in our complete party now with these guys?
There's 6 of them.
Okay.
So in total, with Arda, you're 10.
10.
Plus a baby grass monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be like, hey, once we get our shit packed up and everything ready to go, I'd and get them. I probably would take one of the. Do they have one that would be more of a scout? Like is more proficient in that?
Sorry, more proficient in what?
And like kind of like scouting the trail or something like.
Not as proficient as us.
There'd be a couple of them that.
Yeah, but he doesn't know his way. But
There's a couple of them that at least would have a pretty good idea of where they came from. Although it has snowed a lot, so they might be a little, at the very least, things are going to be.
I'd want to be. Slippery. Yeah, I think I'd want to be up at the front. I imagine probably you might want to as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think we need to be on point all the time. You can kind of hang back.
I think I'd be middle of the pack. I'd
Yeah.
be chit chatting.
But I'd like to be up at the front, kind of breaking trail with everybody back towards this encampment. And how long of a journey? They say this is going to be.
They've
Especially
been
now that all
traveling.
the passes are snowed in.
They've been traveling for about 2.5 days to get up here.
Yeah.
And you're not sure how much farther it might be.
Just don't make any sudden loud pitch noises after 14 inches of snow
So
in the mountains.
I feel
It's
like
not a long rest.
also I would be
Yes.
encouraging Erda
Okay,
just to
so
like
a chance
not
spell
to
time.
act quiet,
You can?
just to like
Yeah.
be a
Yeah,
part
okay.
of it.
Yeah.
How
Well,
would
did you
people
get,
treat him? How would
half
these
your hit
people be
dice back
treating
too?
him?
Yeah.
There are. They would kind of treat him however you guys have been treating him. So-
I'm going to treat him like almost as an equal.
Yeah.
Almost.
So actually, Arda will speak to you. We can retcon this to fit in wherever,
Yeah.
but you guys have kind of chatted along the way.
But I'm trying to work him up to like not be a slave, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
So
Well, that's what I mean. So, like over the course of your journey, like he's gonna kind of view you at this point as pretty much a friend. I mean, you were the one who kind of officially told him to like get the fuck out of here, go get yourself free, and he decided to come back. And so, yes, Ulfar, you could sail to the general vicinity these guys are in. It is about 200 plus miles into where they are. So it's doable, but it would not be the quick way around compared to
How far to
you're
walk?
getting there.
Yeah, but if I'm shipping supplies and stuff like that, we're not
Yeah.
going over the mountains. So
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like if you're
I'm thinking
establishing-
more like establishing shipping lanes and more like
route.
trade routes and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Where
absolutely.
200 miles, whatever, who cares? That's
Yeah.
not me doing it.
Yeah, you're basically going all the way, like following the fjord that you guys are sort of a part of, all the way out to the ocean,
And then back
heading
up
north
around.
of the ways, and then following another one in, and then up whatever
Yeah.
river to where they are. But yeah, it's doable.
Yeah. Okay.
The beautiful thing about this part of the world is that you can pretty much take a boat to within like 20 miles of anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and if you ever look at a map of like Sweden and Norway, pretty much everybody lives within 5 miles of water. So,
Yeah.
well, you know,
most of the time,
when you live on a rock, you got to eat something.
right?
Yeah.
I like this one. I like this one. I don't know why.
And then Peter
So,
gets really pissed.
With that being a
when you
long
eat all
rest,
those
am I able to change my spells?
Yes, you can
You
change
see
up
the
your
big
first
whale?
level spells if you want.
Where they
Yeah,
push all the
because we're
whales
doing
into the
another 2
bay and
days
then
of
kill them
journeying,
all.
and they said we're going into wolf territory.
They
there,
eat
so
'em.
I'll be able to do a little bit of fighting.
Because they live on an
instead of
island that's
sticking,
literally
Wasted.
Yep.
they live
Just
on an
you-
island
you
that
can
grows
make-
moss. That's
Yeah,
it.
we
I've-
can't eat
I've-
fucking bread.
Perfect.
Eat
Yeah.
fish.
The
Yep.
4 I'm going to be sticking between for that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So again, with the way your spell slots work is like you can prepare your 4 spells. You can change those 4 spells, and then you get your 2 spell slots that you can use to use any of those spells.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So yeah, if you just want to kind of like within those 4, if you're not changing them, you're just like, well, instead of these 2, I'm thinking more about these 2. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of 5th has got a great deal of flexibility.
Yeah.
2nd edition, I liked 2nd, but 2nd was a bitch for spell casting because you didn't have a spell slot. You memorized a spell. So if you wanted to use Speak with Animals, you memorized one use of Speak with Animals, and if you wanted to maybe use it twice, you had to memorize it twice. So if you wanted to be prepared
doesn't make
for
sense.
talking with animals
shit,
and
level
charming
18,
someone
I can
and
become
say
huge.
Thunderwave or something
That
like
is the
that,
same size
you would
as a
have
giant.
memorized each of those
That's
at
level
least
18.
once.
Yeah, I know.
You burned your Thunderwave
Almost died 3
once,
times.
you didn't have it available
I'm just
again.
saying, that'd be
So
cool.
now,
Level 18,
you
I can
use
literally
Thunderwave,
just...
and if Thunderwave shooting you the second time,
I can give a
you
Frost
use it
Giant
the
a
second
noogie because
time.
I'll be so much more powerful
So
than them.
fewer spells overall
Who's
in a
your
sense,
uncle?
but way more flexibility. So, where were we with questions? Yes, so Arda has kind of talked to you, and at one point, you know, as you're journeying, he's kind of like, Brego? Am I really free?
Am I a real boy?
You,
I'm a real boy!
and I'm going to tell him, and I like, absolute honesty, I'm like, you absolutely are free. You can leave right now if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because somebody's going to scoop you up.
Like an ogre.
But-
he says, you know, I've been thinking about it, and you know what? I think I kind of want to be a bit like you guys. I don't want to just be another halfling. I think I want to be. I think I want to be somebody who fights for the little guy. I think I want to be somebody special like you guys.
Okay, that's great. I think that you could be a benefit to us. Do you have any particular interests?
He says,
Do you have skills already?
Do you like healing?
You don't have to be a hidden cleric, do you? Or like,
right.
Start worshipping any god and get the power. Fastest way to be a
He
hero.
tells you he's kind of thinking about some things, and he's sort of been, he's been kind of praying to the gods of his people, looking for some guidance about it. He's got some ideas, but he's not quite sure of a path yet. The DM's sure of a path, but he's not yet. So,
yeah. Okay. All right. He's thinking about that. So
Storm cleric of Thor.
he is somewhat.
Lightning.
He is somewhat happy with the situation if we don't
Holy
kill
fuck,
him.
Arda. Pray hard.
Yeah, he seems well. He's already told
You're
you
the
like he
Harald,
kind of
Yeah,
would like.
you're taking
He wants
points.
to
Yeah.
reunite with some of his people.
Always
You get the
good point.
impression.
Is he being
that-
forced into being a beastmaster? Is this where we're at?
I hope not. Trust me. Please don't make him a beastmaster. Anything.
I think Beastmaster.
Okay, then you can be that beastmaster.
Yeah.
Not the player's handbook one though.
I'm happy.
It's a good way for him to die immediately.
I think I found a pretty easy way to fix the Berserker Barbarian too. You just get rid of the whole exhaustion thing, because seriously, a second attack with like a great axe doesn't break anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a dumb rule.
So
Anyway.
Aldar's happy and he's going to stick around.
Yeah, he's
You call him Alder?
Alder, whatever.
He's not.
Aldarden.
He's pretty pissed because after 2 days he still doesn't know his name.
right.
Well,
With an A and
I
M
feel
to
like
that.
I would have gave him a nickname by now.
Arda.
Hey, Shorty, Arda.
Just call him
Shorty
Jim.
might be offensive.
Yeah.
Jim.
I can remember your character's name, and I can remember your character's name. I can remember my character's name. That's more names than I know of people in real life.
Yeah.
But I don't remember where we were with things. Arda was talking to you.
Yes.
Kind of retconning that.
He wants
Yeah.
to be a. He wants
So
to be a hero.
we're not sure of what his class is going to be yet, but he's sticking around.
He's willing to stick around at least
He
for a
just
while.
wants to
He
be
wants
a
to
real
rejoin
boy
with his
down at the
people.
end of the
Maybe
day.
help some of the. You know that there are some halflings who kind of voluntarily stay in service. They get well paid as hired hands, but a lot of them are forcibly enslaved and kind of, hunted and traded and things like that. You've kind of picked up that he's kind of opposed to the idea. Like you don't know whether or not he was kind of a hired hand or a full-on slave at this farm that he was originally on, but he's been kidnapped and basically treated like shit by these people that you guys beat up and freed him from. So he's definitely not a proponent of that. So you're not sure that he's going to be around forever, but he thinks that there's definitely things he can learn from you guys, and
You can just
kinda
not
get-
necessarily Hogak. Maybe not learn so much from him.
No, I'll teach him a lot.
Yeah. He's made love to so many animals. He now turns into them.
Hey. Other terms, I gained that from
It's
somewhere.
not even. It's like he was accused of bestiality so much in his life that he's figured a way to loophole it.
I accused. I own up to it, man. It's like, I saw you last night with my goat.
It's the damnedest thing, but at
I
least
was a goat.
it's the damnedest thing, but at least once a day you see like an ox or a pack mule, and there's this fucking red. There's like this orange haired squirrel just up on top, just giving it to it.
Oh my god. That shit is nuts.
All right. So yeah, you guys break camp. They kind of fold everything up, and then turn and begin to make their way back the way that they came. They you guys will spend about another day and a half traveling to the point where you can basically see the ice and snow is mostly behind you. It's still kind of cool where you are, but you can look down the slopes of the mountain. You can see rivers and streams and grass and trees and stuff down below you. In about a day and a half, they managed to lead you back to kind of the edge of the mountains, and you are looking down into the kind of land that they have come from.
Now, do they know the people that we're going there to? Like, this isn't their village, right?
No,
But
they would know some people who've
Okay.
at least gone there. It's kind of like growing up. Well, it's kind of like growing up anywhere. Like you may not know everybody, but
Yeah. They might have a cousin in the
for
town.
trade. Like people would move back and forth. Families would move back and forth a little bit. You wouldn't necessarily.
It's just we're not going in cold. Somebody knows somebody.
Yeah, and they're
We are
just kind
going
of
cold.
they're local to the region anyway.
Yeah.
So, but that is where we will end our session for tonight. Is with you guys kind of at the edge of the worst part of the mountains, looking down into this land of it to the north of you. That, as near as you can tell, has had worse problems with the wolves, and seems to be where whatever cult group or whatever they are is kind of operating in significantly more strength than where you guys come from. So that's where we will end tonight. For those of you who had nothing better to do than listen in, thank you for joining us. And this was weird. I don't think I didn't get an interrupted signal all night.
I know my internet's been doing okay the last little while.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, good night to everybody, and we'll be back next week.
Last